Sounds good to me.
Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of season 6 of the Sausage Factory. The Sausage Factory, as you know, is just a bunch of guys sitting around talking about movies. I'm your moderator, Pizzow. With me tonight is the professor, B-Movie Mike. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, guys? 'Tis the season, as you can see. The fire raging behind me is of a different tempo this time. Tried to make it a little more rhythmic, a little groovy for the holidays.
Nice. Very, very nice. Very nice. Also with me tonight, well, and it's definitely got to start. I mean, it's feeling like Christmas, I'm sure, down there in Florida. Have you have you gone below like 60 any night lately, or?
Yeah, there was a couple of times last week where we were in the 50s during the night, but it felt good.
Whoa.
Although for Florida, people are putting on the coats and the parkas, and I'm just looking at them like, you've never been to the Midwest, have you?
Yeah.
This is good.
I got to check what 50 is now, because that sounds crazy. It's like here.
Yeah. I can imagine, like, if it goes below 60, they're like, get the coats out. You know what I mean? So
turn the heat on.
Yeah,
oh my God, that's only 10 degrees. Jesus, I'd be up in the sweater. Tops.
Exactly.
And also with me tonight is Jay the Stingray. What's up, Stingray?
What's happening, guys? Glad to be here.
What are we drinking tonight, Stingray?
Great big cup of thunder.
Donut shop and French roast.
Donut shop and French roast. All right. Interesting.
I've always wondered, you mix them. Is there a reason, or it's just because you need 2 K-cups to fill the mug or something?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like I don't like the donut shop by itself because it's too weak, so I throw a French in there, and it's.
I get you. Okay, cool.
So, you didn't break your Keurig?
Break it?
You didn't hear about that?
I guess you've not been on social media. I barely even know about it. Apparently, the Keurig company pulled ads off of Fox News for some reason, so people were breaking their Keurigs and recording it and putting it on YouTube. And I just saw this montage of people breaking Keurigs, and I was like, what's wrong with why are they doing this? Like, you remember those videos where, like, hey, I just bought this brand new iPad, now watch me break it. You know what I mean? I was like, people are breaking. Why is that trending now? And then I was like, okay.
Nope. I paid a lot of money for that coffee maker.
I was gonna say, all those people that did it, they're gonna have remorse in about a week when they get sick of brewing their coffee in a fucking drip, and they're gonna go buy another Keurig. So, like,
I'm not going back to those days, man. When I'm not,
I ain't got time for that anymore.
I'm not slumming it over here. Come on.
Yeah. And,
because they pulled it off of Fox News.
They pulled.
It was one show in particular, wasn't it?
I don't even.
One guy was a little bit too right, and they pulled it off his show or something, and a bunch of his followers like smashed their shit up. It was stupid.
That's their prerogative. I mean,
there's so much of that stuff going on that it just. I just quit paying attention to it. It passed the point of ridiculous. I mean, we're now Plaid, all right? So I'm just like, whatever. I
figured you'd be smashing it if it was on Fox News. Then they smash the shit.
Well, I mean, if
Fox News become reputable.
If you really want to protest, stop paying for the coffee.
Yeah. the K-cups is what hits you in the pocket, buying those daggone K-cups.
You've already bought the damn thing, so there's no reason to destroy it now. I mean, just like stop buying their product.
Yeah, they're probably happy because now you got to buy another one.
Exactly. You're going to do it.
They double their fucking.
I'm gonna buy like the Mr. Coffee like Jive or whatever the hell the competition's called. It's like it's just like whatever.
Toss them up.
Just buy a moonshine jug.
Yeah.
Drink it out of that.
Well, also with me tonight's Rambo Raff. What's up, Rambo?
Doing good. Thank you for having me. Always fun to do these.
Always a pleasure. Are we drinking a Mellow Yellow tonight?
Yeah. Got home from McDonald's, so they still have the dollar large.
Nice. Very nice.
Got Mellow Yellow in there, so it's all good.
And with me tonight as well is Raiho Magnifico. What's the temperature like up in the Great White North, Raiho?
It's actually been pretty mild up here the last little while. It cooled off a little bit the last couple of days. I don't know how to do the conversion in my head. -1, so I don't know what that comes out to, but It is sub-zero in the nights typically, but the next couple of days are looking like rainy and warm. It's not too bad. It's not too bad yet. It'll get bad.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember when we had Paul Kilman on the show for our My Bloody Valentine live commentary, he was like, how are you, man? And I was like, I'm freezing to death. It's like, 20 degrees here. And he was like, it's nothing. He was like, 20 degrees.
I think he lives in like a pretty secluded area.
He lives in the true Great White North.
Yeah, exactly. Like things are okay, around here, like where we're on the coast and stuff like that. I mean, it's a little cooler in some areas, but it gets pretty bad if you get into like Ontario, Quebec, go north. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Right. Whatever the temperature was, it was super cold to me. To him, it was like, grow up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't even wear a shirt in that shit.
Yeah, he was like, we call that summer around here.
My beard just gonna wrap that around myself.
Wear my beard.
Shout out to Paul Kelman, the great Paul Kelman. That was an awesome show. That was an awesome show.
That was amazing. That was the highlight of my Sausage Factory career, I think.
The great Paul Kelman. That was awesome. We had intended to do a Steven Spielberg retrospective tonight, but we've had several people have to cancel at the last minute. So we may just do a fly by the seat of our pants, shooting the bull kind of show tonight, maybe like a Q&A. If you guys out there watching have questions for us about anything or anything, please let us know. I am wholeheartedly disappointed in Eazy-E. And he's really let you guys down because tonight we were going to debut his own segment entitled Eazy-E's Fondest Movie Memories. And it just so happened that just before this show started, the power went out at his house. So I don't buy that for an instant. I think he's a liar. I think he's a coward. I have contacted Orc, and he is going to perform an executive order. Jay has been notified to hold his payments. And we'll just see how it goes from there. So, but he really let you.
Orc is the chairman, so the buck stops at him.
That's true.
He's the chairman of the sausage.
That's true. That's true. So, I actually see. Actually, Orc is in the chat, and he's like, "Yeah, if that guy." So. But yeah, hopefully no major problems at the Eazy-E household. But anyway, so yeah, we may just do a fly by the seat of our pants show tonight, something just fun, shooting the bull. So yeah, if you have questions for us, all you guys out there watching, please leave them in the live chat or tweet them to us at TSF Nation. But let me ask you guys, how was your Thanksgiving, and did you guys partake in any Black Friday shopping?
No, just stay home.
Stayed home, had some food. Rambo and I did a show, had a good time. No Black Friday shopping for me.
What about you, Ryo?
How was your Thanksgiving?
I had my Thanksgiving October like normal people. I did go over Black Friday. I did for the first time ever.
I was going to say they do partake of Black Friday in the Great White North.
It's demented. I can't understand it because to put this into perspective, in Canada we have Boxing Day, which I don't think you guys do anything on the 26th of December, but we have Boxing Day. And Boxing Day was our Black Friday. It was like the day after Christmas. All these mad sales would come at the malls. People would rush the malls. They still do it. We still have Boxing Day, but now all of a sudden we have Black Friday too, just because you guys have it. And I don't know. We got to keep up with the Joneses. And it's completely nuts. But my wife and I actually, we just happened to take the day off because we wanted a day off from work and stuff like that with the kids in the daycare, and went down to the mall. And it wasn't that bad, but we did get a couple of decent deals.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, opened it up with some coffee. It's, you know what I mean? Had a great day. But we did catch some deals. I got like a brand new phone and shit. It's just nuts that we have both. I don't understand it.
For us, the 26th is National Return Day.
Right, yeah.
You know, the day after we buy shit on Black Friday and then we take it back on the 26th. That's the cycle here.
Or if you get Christmas presents, that's the day you take them back.
Yeah, right. National Return Day.
You return them and get the box.
For us, it was always like if you didn't get that thing you wanted, like the same idea, I guess. You could go down and get something else, and there's usually like pretty deep discounts, and it's the same exact thing as Black Friday. I don't understand why we have both, but we do, and we have Cyber Monday and all that bullshit now too. I can't even keep up with it. But yeah, Thanksgiving was great in October.
Well, Stingray, did you have a big family Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we did it in my house this year, so it was. I was in charge of the birds, so it was pretty stressful.
That is now
plural.
No, just one.
Do you deep fry your turkey, or do you deep fry? Okay.
Yeah, I started last year, so I'm.
I want to try it so bad.
I do too. No, I hear it's dangerous, man. I mean, what kind of precautions do you have to take prior to deep frying a turkey?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is make sure it's fully thawed out.
Uh-huh.
That's what people usually do when you see the explosions and stuff. It's still like frozen on the inside.
So. Well, they say that everybody that I've talked to who they swear by the deep fried turkey. They say, well, if you try it, you'll never go back. It's so good. It's so good.
It's so tender. You know, I don't know if you've had turkey sometimes, like in Christmas Vacation, where it's like really tough and hard and stuff.
Very dry.
Dry, exactly.
Have you guys done turducken?
I want to. I've never had
turducken. Turducken it's an experience.
What is turducken?
You take chicken and you stuff it in a duck, and then you take a duck and you stuff it in a turkey, and you bake them all at the same time.
Wow. I think there's like sausage stuffing in between the layers or something like that.
Yeah, to keep it all. I would say that duck is a little greasy. Duck is a little greasy, but it's something you do it once, I guess, and you're like, yeah, that was pretty crazy. My uncle one time he did.
Take that and stuff it inside a pig, and then stuff that inside of a cow.
It took 7 animals dying to feed me dinner.
Now that's a heart attack.
Yeah. To all of our vegan viewers, they just vomited thinking about that.
I apologize.
But,
it's called the Sausage Factory.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, I would say it's one, if you can experience it once, give it a shot. I don't know how easy they are to get.
Did you have to order it, or was it available locally?
My uncle ordered it. He found a guy that I guess he goes out hunting and he hunts duck, and he had a farm, so he had turkey and chicken on it, so he puts them together and you pick it up fresh. He had to drive like 4 hours.
Oh wow!
Pick it up. Yeah,
that's devotion.
Yeah, he really wanted to have it one Christmas dinner, and we all had it. Like I said, I was like, "This is cool." I'm cool with the regular turkey from now on.
There's a job for you. There's a guy out there that's like, I got to stick this chicken up this duck's ass, and then this duck up this chicken's ass all day long.
Just love to be there the day that was invented. They're just like, well, I got all these carcasses.
I think it was like, we got to feed all these people, but we have a really small oven. Fuck it, just shove everything inside each other and put it in there.
Yeah,
those Russian dolls, right? Let's just do that with birds.
See, they shouldn't call it turducken. They should call it like the nesting meal. You know what I mean?
What the fucking?
How many things can I get in here?
Yeah.
The bottom of it is Big Mac.
There you go. Oh my goodness. What about you, Mike? How was your Thanksgiving?
Just hung out at the house. Had some good food. Did a show with Rambo. Had some fun. Stayed away from the black. Is it Gray Thursday now? I mean,
pretty much. Yeah, because every year they start it earlier and earlier. It's no longer even on Friday. It used to be like Wednesday, or it used to be like Thursday night at 10. Then it was Thursday night at 8. I think my local Walmart started their Black Friday Thursday night at 6 p.m.
Yeah, and then it goes till Monday. It's a whole weekend now. It's not just like one day.
In Canada here, like I'm pretty sure they started I think Canadian Tire started like a week. Like it was like Black Friday week. which doesn't make any sense.
That's got to be like the number one day for people to quit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's retail. I mean, shit.
Well, even like on Amazon. Amazon had their Black Friday deals the entire week. They're still having Cyber Monday deals. Tomorrow's Friday.
You know, and I've seen the effect of internet shopping on retail this year more than any. I did have to stop by Walmart on the way home from work. It was like Saturday morning, and all the displays were pretty much gone. That's the first time. Normally, you show up on Saturday morning, they still have everything sitting out, and you go through the leftovers, right? And you're like, oh, let's see what these movies are. Usually I like stuff nobody else likes. There was nothing. There was like a small video game section, and that was it. And I asked one of the people, I was like, this is the cleanest I've ever seen it on a Saturday after Black Friday. And she said, oh, we did about half of the business we were projected to.
Wow.
So it was just, and this is in a city, right? This is not like out in the country. So they were able to clean everything up, and it looked like nothing. It didn't even look like Black Friday. It looked like a normal day at Walmart.
Wow, that's weird.
So, yeah, pretty weird.
That's how I used to do. My Black Friday always happened on the Saturday morning after, where I'd go to Walmart and I'd pick through the remains of the DVD and Blu-ray section. And then when I met my girlfriend, I was like, well, that's my Black Friday. And she was like, no. You need to experience a real Black Friday. And so it was interesting because, you were looking at humanity at its lowest point. People fighting over like a towel that's been marked down $2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People using their carts as battering rams, people sending their children into the fray, crawling between people's legs. I swear to God, one year I was trapped in the middle of a sea of people. I felt something between my legs. I looked down. There were little kids crawling between people's legs to get out.
My God. Fucking shit.
So it was interesting to be part of that madness, and then at the same time to take a step back and behold it. You know what I mean? But then it's just kind of like, I feel like Murtaugh, man. I'm just too old for that. So the last couple of years, all my shopping, and really I don't do a lot of Black Friday shopping anyway, unless it's like a really good deal. It's online. It's Amazon.
Yeah, because they have like 5 items, right? They're gone in the first 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you go there for the deal, it's already gone before you get there.
Yeah.
You pick up scraps just to make it worth it.
Yeah. And I got to tell you guys, have any of you guys are you even interested in this daggone SNES Classic? And if you are, have you been able to get one?
I got one.
No.
Okay. I haven't played it yet though. I got it for Christmas.
If it hadn't have been for the debacle that was the NES Classic last year, I might have been interested in getting one. But the way they handled that completely made me not interested.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what they said this year with the SNES Classic was, we learned our lesson. We're going to make them more readily available. If you want one, you'll be able to get one starting on this day. So we're going to send 5 to every Walmart. We're going to send 5 to every Best Buy. Okay, everybody's going to be able to get one as long as they're the first 5 people in line to get it. You know what I mean? You're completely. How dare you?
Or they're the one person that buys all 5 and sells the other 4.
Well, yeah, exactly. Or I'm sure I knew a guy that worked at Best Buy, and he was like, we get our new stuff in every Monday. If you want to call Monday, we may get them unless our employees buy them and put them on eBay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've
heard that. Yeah.
It's pretty.
So they
like GameStop and stuff.
Yeah. So they get 5 of them. The employees buy them, and then put them on eBay.
See, I'm not doing that bullshit. I don't.
I heard somebody on Twitter say that they just walked into their Walmart and there was some in the console behind the glass. I'm like, well,
It's been kind of weird. Like I will say, like with the NES Classic, I had to get up at like 3 in the morning and be like on the websites refreshing shit to get the ones I got. I got one for myself. I got one for my nephews. The SNES Classic, I didn't have to try that hard for myself to get. I got 2 of them, and I've seen them come up a lot in Canada on Best Buy Canada, on Walmart Canada. I don't know why. I could have bought several, but as far as going into a retail store, I don't know. I haven't. I went to an EB one day and they said they were doing pre-orders, and I managed to pre-order one, and I think they got 20. the guy said they were going to get 20.
That's not how it's been around here. I mean,
yeah,
like,
that's what I mean.
The Best Buy is like, we if we get them in on a Monday, we get like 5. Same thing with like Walmart. So I don't. We're going to make them more readily available. If you want one, you'll be able to get one. No, not really. But I mean, it's not even like I want one, because I feel like Mike. You know what I mean? It's like, you screwed us all over with the NES Classic. That was a complete debacle. Instead of making them readily available so that everybody can really have one, you pull this BS. And you know what? If I want to play those games, I can download a whatever
emulator.
An emulator,
No.
download every ROM that I want, buy a cheap $5 controller, and I've got every one. And you know what? F you, Nintendo. That's how I feel about it.
What they've actually probably done is they've probably driven up sales for Raspberry Pi, because you can buy a Raspberry Pi, make a Retro Pi out of it, or you could probably get somebody to sell you a Retro Pi, load it up with every game imaginable, right up to probably right up through PlayStation, Saturn, N64, or beyond, and attach that to your TV in HD. Grab a controller, like you said. You can get a Bluetooth wireless controller for $20 or something, and I feel like Retro Pis have gone. Like, I've seen everybody getting that because they're so pissed off they can't get the actual hardware.
And what's weird too is that they, like in Canada, they're more readily available in other places except America. Like with the NES Classic, you could buy it on Amazon.uk and it would ship here. They were far more available, readily available on Amazon UK. Well, now Amazon UK will not ship the SNES Classic across the pond.
Yeah. And actually in Canada, this is a great one. In Quebec, for them to be able to sell it, they would have to have French versions of the games. And they don't. They wouldn't put them on it. So you can't get one in Quebec. Everyone in Quebec is losing their shit. They're trying to get them imported, and they're actually blocking it. It's like this whole debacle going on, because they don't give a shit. They just want the games, right? And they probably had to play these games in English their entire lives. So there's this whole thing going on where you can't, they just didn't ship any to Quebec because there's a law in place that they had to have French manuals, I think, and French, whatever, everything had to be French on it, and they just didn't do it. And it's
fucking wrong.
It's just, I get them because I can't help myself. I know I have a sickness, but I can completely understand why somebody would completely boycott that shit and be like, "Fuck you!" I can't understand it. You can walk into a store and buy a fucking Switch, I think, right now, but you can't buy a goddamn SNES Classic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it doesn't garner them any. They're talking about in 2018, they're going to re-release the NES Classic. I've seen some stuff about that. They're going to try and put that back out. I'll be even interested to see if it has the same games. They've got licensing and stuff like that. I don't even know how they're going to do that. But that's not, if it's not readily available, like the SNES Classic, you're just going to piss more people off.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, you know what's interesting? I've never told this story out of fear of Nintendo coming and killing me. But at this point, I'm like Nintendo, bring it on.
They're gonna take this video down.
Well, I've got my NES Classic here, which thank you to Steven and Andrew.
Throw it in the fire.
I don't want to break.
Anyway, I was right literally the first couple of days of getting this thing. I was playing it. I got up to turn it off. I touched the power button, and the thing shocked me.
Oh shit!
I felt an electrical current go through me.
That's terrific.
And the console was screwed. It was done. It wouldn't play after that. It was done.
Oh really?
It was screwed. Yeah. So I called Nintendo and told them your NES Classic shocked me, and now it doesn't work. The guy was like, "Shocked you."
He didn't believe you.
Let me put you on hold.
Yeah,
He comes back. He goes, okay, describe shock. How did it shock you? Was it like a static shock? I said, no. This was like a bolt of lightning shot out of the thing and shocked me. This was an electrical shock. Let me put you on hold.
So have you ever seen Halloween 3?
So he comes back online. He goes, so he puts me on hold. He's asking me questions. Let me put you on hold. He comes back. More questions. Let me put you on hold. I don't know who he's talking to. He's like, but then he comes back. He's like, okay,
litigation.
Exactly. He's like on the phone with the legal department, and he's like, okay, so describe for me the shock and how painful it was. Like, okay, let me put you on hold.
Any pain is bad. Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Any pain.
Just like, I mean, this was like a half-hour phone call. I'm not kidding. And every time he'd ask me a question, then he'd go, "Let me put you on hold." And then he goes, "Okay, since the unit caused you pain, since the unit hurt you, I've got to fill out this blah 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 blah. Let me put you on hold." So literally, I'm on hold constantly. So I send he's like, we're going to send you this. We're going to, send it back to us because we really need to check it out. It must be faulty. There's got to be a problem with it. It should not shock you. There should be no electrical current going into the thing at all. You know what I mean? Or any electrical current that could come out and, because I mean, these are like plastic or whatever, you know what I mean?
Jesus, I run mine off a battery like a cell phone battery.
Yeah. So, he's like totally perplexed. I don't know. I guess he's talking to the legal department. I don't know. But I sent it to him, and when they sent it back, when they sent me the replacement, it was literally just in a box. There was nothing with it. No paperwork, no nothing. Just like here, like the thing in the box. So I called them. And I go, I had this problem and blah, 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 and this happened and this happened. What was the diagnosis of the unit that would have made it shock me? Sir, we don't know. She was like, what did she say? I looked up and I saw that I can see that you sent it back, but there's no record of why you sent it back.
It was a misfire.
And I went, okay. All right.
Oh shit! They're not telling anybody, so we don't get sued.
Yeah, I thought you'd be like, I'm recording this conversation for my lawyer, so
yeah.
So
I want Mario at my birthday party. I want that person.
I want Mario as played by
Albino Jr.
I want Luigi
resurrected.
I want John Leguizamo as Luigi in my house.
Dennis Hopper.
I want Dennis Hopper as King Koopa. No,
Bob Hoskins.
Ralph. There you go. Yeah, Bob Hoskins. I forgot his name. Great actor. But yeah, I've never told that story because I was afraid Nintendo would get me. But I'm telling it now.
You didn't do anything wrong.
The story has to be told.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I think I still have. I mean, every now and again, I have like a Twitch, and I think it's because of that, Nintendo. So I think you need to get in touch with me, and I think we need to talk about this. I think there needs to be some damages,
God forbid you for getting fucking shot.
Yeah.
Complaining about it. Oh, shit, man. That's just whining and complaining. You get shot like a bolt of lightning from a fucking Nintendo. That's nothing. It's supposed to be a game, not fucking get
I'm surprised they didn't say, "Yo, son, when we told you were playing with power, did you think we were fucking kidding?"
Oh, so that's why you call it a zapper.
And Nintendo, if something happens to me and I disappear, this is public. This is public. Everybody knows.
It's out there.
So. Your ass is grass. Where the lawnmower.
Crazy stuff. But yeah, back to Thanksgiving. I had a good Thanksgiving with my brother. We went to Cracker Barrel, which has been our little thing for the past few years. And
never been to one. Is that a good place?
Yeah, it's they give you a pretty good little Thanksgiving dinner. They give you plenty of food. Yeah, it's good stuff. And that's been our little routine for the past, God, I don't know, 8-9 years at this point. So, but yeah, and then just kind of hung out and did a little shopping online and relaxed and had a good time. So, yeah. Let's see what's going on out in the chat here. Our buddy Claire's watching with us tonight. Claire, how are you? Our buddy Chris Wynn's with us tonight. Toffee 20. Let's see who else is with us tonight. The live commentator. He says, let's do a whole show on the Infinity War trailer. I've actually not watched that yet.
I've seen it.
What is that?
Infinity War.
The new Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, I don't want to say anything because I haven't seen it, but like I watched it and I got like a text from my buddy. And he's like, "You're gonna shit yourself when you see this new trailer." And I was like, I thought that was pretty weak. Like I was not knocked out by that trailer whatsoever. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I've heard people freaking out about it. Like, like, oh my God.
I was fine with it, but you understand. I just saw Justice.
Yeah.
Seeing that,
that'll make you feel pretty good about it, I guess.
Yeah, watching Howard the Duck would make me fine with it.
I got a wild hair up my ass the other day, Rambo, and I almost went and saw Justice League, and then I saw all the stuff you posted after you saw it. So,
well, maybe you'll like it. A lot of people like it.
No, I completely hate like the Superman and Batman versus Superman movies.
I can't believe that I'm hearing that people liked it. Like I just assume it's got to be hot garbage.
Because it's better than Batman v Superman.
Well,
that's
Jesus,
the praise.
I've heard a difficult metric.
I've heard the typical DC movie kind of thing, like, it's disjointed. It's the tone's all over the place, but it's okay. That's kind of that's been like the median analysis of the film. Like, it's your typical DC movie complaint of it just being, again, like they just threw a bunch of stuff together and somehow, it's okay. You know what I mean?
I agree to disagree with them. Fucking.
I mean, no disrespect to anyone, but it seems like, fanboys, you're a huge DC fan, you may be willing to accept some mediocre movies.
If you're a fan, I just mediocre.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know Eric liked it a lot, on the show.
It's cool if they like it. I fucking. It was such a total 180 change that it was ridiculous. It was such a nothing was earned. If you've seen the previous films, it's not consistent in the fucking slightest. And I hated the characters. I wanted to punch Flash in the fucking face. The fucking dialogue he said. Well, this is a cave, like a bat cave.
Awesome.
Oh God!
Reference Pet Cemetery 3 times because they're bringing Superman from the dead. Because Pet Cemetery.
Well, what's funny is like there's people petitioning for the Zack Snyder cut of the movie.
So it'll be bad as Batman v Superman.
Well, no, I guess they're saying that Whedon made it too kind of Whedon-y, too kind of jokey, stuff.
It is trying to be more like a Marvel movie. It is. And it's 2 hours.
And like the hardcore DC,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and I mean, Joss Whedon. That's just how Joss Whedon writes characters.
And they probably wanted him to do that, which is why they brought him in, right? Marvel this fucker up so it'll make some money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, he's a misogynist, so.
Yeah.
But, like the hardcore DC fans who like the darker edge of the DC movies, they're going, wait a minute, this is too jokey, so we want Snyder.
Even Batman was jokey in this. Like, that's like the one thing I liked in BVS.
That doesn't even make sense.
And even this, he's like, there's a scene at the end with Superman and him. And he's like, oh, I thought you didn't like me. And Batman is literally like a cheerleader talking to a jock. Well, I didn't say I liked you. Like, this is fucking Batman. And he's acting like a cheerleader. He's like Clark's cheerleader in this fucking thing.
Well,
they got that Martha Mom connection.
Well, Affleck wants out of the Batman business ASAP.
I don't know what he signed, but he's probably trying to run as fast as he can.
Probably dollar signs. I think he probably saw exposure and dollar signs.
Well, I think he really did want to write and direct a Batman movie because he's a comic book fan. And once they said, fuck you, you're not doing it because Live by Night flopped, which I didn't see it, but it flopped and they have all these knee-jerk reactions to every bad say. So they changed 20 things. And then Ben Affleck's probably like, the shit they're making me say, fuck this. I mean,
I've said it before. I'd say it again. Like I didn't mind him. I know Cole didn't really like him because he can't get past the Ben Affleckness. But if Ben Affleck wrote and directed a Batman film where it's like a detective story and he starred as like Batman Bruce Wayne, I'd watch that movie. Like that sounds great. This other shit is just.
And they took it away. They took that away, and they make him say the dumbest shit in this, and CGI porn, finales in a fucking red sky as Aquaman's a bro. Might as well be like pumping weights, looking like Rob Zombie. Hey, fucking yeah, my man. Fuck you and your trident shoved up your ass.
But what do you do with Aquaman though?
I know, but
try some.
make an Aquaman movie first to get me actually, and they do bats backwards.
The trailer made it look like he's some kind of badass or something.
He is, but it's like, to me, he's trying so hard with the slow-mo, and it made me laugh.
Yeah, you can make like Aquaman the Thor of Atlantis, and kind of try to do something.
That's really what they were trying to do.
Right.
I'm not a fan of Jason Momoa.
I can see that.
Fucking Conan and all that shit. It's not a fan of
him. Do you guys remember, like, back when we first started this show, like, James was still on here, and he was talking about meeting Jason Momoa and how he was so pumped up for this. This was years ago, and he hasn't even had his own movie yet. So, I mean, what's taking so long?
Well, they're doing it backwards. Aren't they talking now? Like, it's a Flash movie, an Aquaman movie, and Cyborg movie coming out? Like, and this, like, just talking, I think this movie's making bank. So they're going to make more movies.
Cancel Cyborg.
Okay, well, that makes sense. I don't even know what they're thinking there.
I think the DC universe is going to go the way of the Dark universe very soon.
So far, they say it's underperforming because it has to make $600 million to break even. Right now, it's like 480 something.
Oh my god!
So
what are they doing?
They want to make $1 million. Let's be honest, and it costs $300 million production. They said $600 million has to break even. I don't think they're at $500 million yet, and Star Wars is coming out, so maybe they'll make as much as BVS, which was like $800. But they don't want this much profit. They want this much profit, and you're not going to see a Justice League 2 anytime soon. You'll see Aquaman because they're finishing that. You'll see Wonder Woman 2 because Wonder Woman 1 was a hit.
Yeah.
After that, I don't know.
Well, James Wan is still prepping the Aquaman movie.
He's finishing it.
Okay, good.
So that's the next one coming out.
Good. I mean, I have faith in that because it's James Wan. But I mean, if they start talking about, we're actually going to bring in Seth Rogen to do the reshoot. You know what I mean?
Punch it up.
So.
Now you understand my trepidation for the next Halloween film.
Yeah, we're bringing in the Farrelly brothers to do the reshoots and rewrites on Aquaman.
We need more fart jokes in here.
It's got to be a fart joke with bubbles coming out of the water. We got to have it.
Yeah.
I mean, obvious. This whole thing's been rushed, and it shows.
It's a train wreck. It's an absolute train wreck. Yeah.
What I don't understand is why they haven't pumped the brakes.
Yeah,
they just keep going. Like I'm sitting back and I'm like, why are they not?
I think they're just all in at this point, and they're just like, hopefully, I mean, like Wonder Woman was a big hit. That one somehow turned out, So I guess they're just hoping. Let's just keep throwing these out there and hope that we have, we at least bat, 333. So
I think they got lucky with Wonder Woman just because it appealed to a wider audience. I mean, some of these films have built-in audiences that are much smaller. So when you can hit the mainstream, I mean, Wonder Woman was basically their viral video. Yeah, how many more are they going to have?
I still haven't seen it.
But this is
I haven't seen it either. But
Suicide Squad is going to have made more money than a Justice League movie.
Wow,
that's saying a lot. The opening weekend of Suicide Squad was like 30 million more than Justice League. It was like 90-some million Justice League. And
wow.
I like Suicide Squad better than both the previous Superman movies combined. And I didn't really like it very much. Yeah.
I would like to see the Suicide Squad before all the reshoots when it was actually darker, maybe more Joker, maybe things made more sense, less cartoony bullshit. But
Yeah.
just me.
Well, that's the other thing. You have a Batman v Superman movie on DVD that's rated R, but a movie called Suicide Squad with killers is PG-13.
Yeah. Well,
That's what that is all backwards. What the fuck?
Well, like David Ayer tweeted the other day about, somebody said something about can we petition a Suicide Squad director's cut or something like that, and his response was, I wish, and he said he followed that up by saying something like, the Joker should have been the main villain in the film, and things should have been done differently. Which I think again, that's where he was taking it, and then they were like, wait a minute, we got to make this lighter. So
that's weird. At the time when it came out, he said that was his director's cut in theaters. He's like, fuck Marvel, this is a good movie. Like, yeah, this is
If you ever want to work in this town again, you're going to tell them it's a fucking great movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
That's kind of how it works.
That's a normal thing, I know.
Like every band, their new album is the best album they've ever done.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I know that's normal, but that's just always hilarious to me. That's all.
It's like I don't know who was on the show last time was talking about Zack Snyder. I only heard that he pulled out because he was having family problems. His daughter committed suicide, stuff like that. But it was actually he was more pushed out. I think is what I heard.
Something like Warner saw the first cut and they said, no, this needs to be under 2 hours.
We're going to use your family tragedy as a reason to fire your ass. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
The studios, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, who knows what's going on behind the scenes?
It's I don't know. I mean, who's running that ship over there with the DCEU? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a wonder they even made it to a Justice League. I think if Wonder Woman had bombed, would we even? Well, I mean, we would have got it just because they were already halfway done with it at that point. But I mean, I don't know.
I think Marvel's really kind of coming up against it. I mean, we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of Iron Man. In my opinion, it was a great build up to the original Avengers. That was a great payoff. I thought they built it well. I love that movie. Since then, it's kind of been bumpy. I liked Ant-Man, and I did like Civil War, but other than that, I haven't. I mean, Spider-Man: Homecoming to me was unnecessary and completely goofy. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but that's not the Spider-Man movie I wanted to see. But whatever.
I just think that DC needs to focus on making a movie, not focus on making the movie that they think people want to see. Is like, what was it? Guardians of the Galaxy came out. They said, "Oh, we got to make Suicide Squad more, more jokes, more jokes."
Well, they do say the surest way of not creating something popular is to try to create something popular.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you'll fail every time.
Well, I think too, they're not focused. They're not, it's like their focus isn't on the Justice League. Their focus is on the Justice League being a springboard for Cyborg and Aquaman and whoever.
Flash.
And then of course, and then Justice League 2. We're not focusing on the Justice League. We're thinking 3-4 movies ahead. So that's why you're having these train wreck movies coming out. You're building a house on popsicle sticks. So I don't know. It's a train wreck with them. I've not seen Justice League yet. I'm sure I'll end up seeing it because Jeremy wants to see it at some point, but I don't know, man.
I mean,
it's more like it's more like a Super Friends cartoon. Really.
Like
It's
Batman and
lighthearted.
Superman were in a movie fighting each other, and it was a terrible movie. I mean, what's going on here?
Well, I mean, that was just a bad idea. That was a bad idea. That should have been Man of Steel 2. Then do your Batman movie. Then do your Wonder Woman movie. Then do your Justice League movie. Then let that turn into Aquaman and the rest of them, and so on and so forth. Don't just throw. I mean, it's like they were just racing to get this thing, to create their own universe instead of, again, they're. It's just
Justice League. The job of Justice League should have been make a good movie that will make people want to see these other movies.
Right.
Right. We have to introduce Aquaman in a way that will make a standalone film successful. We paying attention to the characters in the story, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Rushing shit out and trying to play to what's going to be popular is always a good way to fail.
Yeah.
Quite a few people seem to like it, so who knows?
Pumpkinhead NC84 says, "What's up, Sausage Factory? How you doing, buddy? You guys out there watching, if you want to tell us how your Thanksgiving was, if you've got any awesome Black Friday deals, please let us know in the live chat or tweet at us at TSF Nation."
Yeah, what was your experience? Was it like my experience, where retail was obviously heavily affected by online sales, or was it more robust than what I experienced?
Exactly. Yeah. Did you brave the masses to go out on Black Friday, or whatever gray Wednesday at 6 in the afternoon? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. Well, other than Rambo Raff and the Justice League, has anybody else seen any? Have there been any other big movies or good movies that have come out recently?
I don't think so.
No.
I haven't watched anything. I watched Jingle All the Way.
Awesome.
You have to.
I had to. I had to kick off the season.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, we trimmed the tree and watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I wanted to watch that one the other day.
One of my favorites.
So far, A Nightmare Before Christmas was my first.
That's a good one.
Very cool.
I'm not sure how I'm going to kick mine off. I do want to see what's that one that's coming out on DVD and Blu-ray next week? Crap. All Through the House or something like that. What's it called? Daggone it. I'm having a horrible memory tonight.
Better Watch Out.
Better Watch Out. That's it. Yeah.
What's that one? I never heard of that one.
It's supposed to be pretty good. I've heard good things about it. I'd like to check it out. And then I'll dive into the usual standards of Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night and Silent Night, Bloody Night and Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 and Christmas Evil and
Don't Open Till Christmas.
Of course, Don't Open Till Christmas.
Silent Deadly Night 3.
No, I think my Silent
Bill
Night
Mosley
Deadly Night,
with the toy on his head.
Yeah. My Silent Night, Deadly Night marathon ends at the second one. The second one.
Not the Mickey Rooney.
Well, I actually don't mind part 5. I don't mind part 5.
Okay. Is that the one with the Pinocchio guy?
Yep, that's the one with the Pinocchio guy.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And speaking of Silent Night, Deadly Night, did you have you guys picked up or plan on picking up the new Scream Factory Blu-ray?
Is that out?
It comes out next week, but if you pre-ordered from Shout Factory, you got it this week.
Okay.
Unless you pre-ordered it with the Billy figure, because NECA screwed up and there's some kind of issue with the shipment of the Billy figure. So now there's a real good possibility we won't even get those sent to us by the day that they come out for everybody else. So
they need to do a second one with a figure with an Eric Freeman with the eyebrows up.
They do. I pray to God. That would be amazing. That would be
Eric Freeman action figure, and you push it, and he says "Garbage Day," like a button on the back, and he's got eyebrows.
Oh my God!
That's an action figure for Christmas.
That basically prints money. That should be their next holiday. That should be their next holiday. Like next year they got to do part 2. And they got to call up Eric.
If you when you press the button, not only does it say Garbage Day, but the eyebrows raise when it says it. You know what I mean?
And every figure comes with a garbage can.
It comes with an official Eric Freeman garbage can, which you can purchase right now by going to theericfreeman.com. That's THEE ericfreeman.com. So right here, your very own Eric Freeman garbage can, Garbage Day, personalized and autographed by Eric Freeman himself.
What are you waiting for?
But yeah, do you guys want to hear the funny story as to why Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 will probably never come out on Blu-ray or on DVD ever again.
Yes.
What is that?
The funny story is there are two people who own the name Silent Night, Deadly Night. They own the rights to, well, I think it's specifically, I'm not sure how it lands. There's all this legal mumbo jumbo. Anyway, the producer of the first film, Ira Barmak, died. His lawyer he has the rights, and this other guy. Well, when Anchor Bay put out that DVD of the first and second movie together, they made a deal with both those guys that they'd both be paid so much for the rights to Silent Night, Deadly Night. But they sent the check to just one guy, expecting him to cash it, half it, and give the other half to the other guy. He didn't. He kept it. He kept it all. So those two aren't talking, obviously, anymore. And so for you to get a Silent Night, Deadly Night, something or the other off the ground or released or licensed or whatever, you have to get both of them to agree, and they are not in agreeing type of moods. So that's why Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 will not be coming out on Blu-ray anytime soon.
So they're able to get them with the first one, or is that different?
I'm not exactly sure how they did it with the first one, but they I'm guessing it was licensed through Anchor Bay, maybe, and maybe Shout Factory bought it from Anchor Bay. I'm not sure, but like for Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, I think on Limbo. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, if you did shell out the extra coin to pick up the Billy figure with the new Silent Night, Deadly Night Blu-ray, you will be waiting for a little while. But the email that I got from Shout Factory said they were hopeful that they'd send those out by the end of this week, which is tomorrow. So I mean, we shall see. We shall see. Pumpkinhead NC84 says, "I love Jingle All the Way." The second one, not so much. They made a sequel to Jingle All the Way
with Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I actually was before the show. I was running to town to get something, and I saw it. And I had it in my hand, and it was $5. And I was like, I want to buy it so that I can burn it. I've never watched it, but I was like, I want to buy it so I can destroy it. But no, I did not. I won't watch the movie. I like the original a lot. I don't know what it is about it, but I guess so, it's just Arnold being handy.
Larry the Cable Guy is just like the go-to like sequel guy now, apparently.
I think so.
He's doing
Tooth Fairy 2.
Tooth Fairy 2 also. We can't get the Rock back, so
no. Well, Larry's
your second choice.
He's on back, guys.
Larry the Cable Guy's there. Claire said she shopped online for Black Friday. Very smart move there, Claire. Toffee20 says the last good film he saw was Trumbo. Don't know what Trumbo is. Chris Wynn goes, A Christmas Story 2 equals worst Xmas movie ever.
They had that too.
I love the original Christmas Story. I'm not gonna even go down that.
I tried to get was watching it with the family. Like when we watched Jingle All the Way, I tried to get them to watch that too, and I came to find out that none of them like it. I don't know, man.
The first one, you mean?
Yeah, the original Christmas Story.
Okay.
It was like, that's a classic.
I thought you meant you were trying to get him to watch
like
Christmas Story 2.
I don't understand.
That's a great movie. I gotta watch that one every year.
How can you not like A Christmas Story? I mean, that's a classic.
I was surprised. Anyway,
it's a generational thing. I think the younger people don't seem to be as into it.
I guess you're right. Yeah, that could be it. Joseph Perdue's not a fan of Jack Frost. Are you talking about the Jack Frost with Michael Keaton or the Jack Frost with the killer snowman? Because the Jack Frost with the killer snowman is pretty awesome.
There's a sequel to that too.
Yes, there is, as a matter of fact. Yep, that's odd.
Oh my gosh.
Pumpkinhead NC84 says, Piers, I know you're a fellow Jason fan. I think if Jason gets another full feature release, the director of Never Hike Alone has to have his hands in it somewhere, and I will have faith in it. So,
didn't they? announce a new Blu-ray set?
They did. It's the 1 through 8 on Blu-ray. It's coming out next February, Friday the 13th. It looks like the exact same release as like the DVD set, the same artwork and everything. But it's the Blu-rays. It's going to be affordable. It's got the same extras that were on the deluxe editions. But you know, if you didn't get that big steel case Blu-ray set from a few years ago, this is your chance to get all the Friday movies, or at least the first 8 Friday movies on Blu-ray. I
couldn't get that one, so I've been keeping my eye on this one.
That one goes for big bucks.
I know. Big. I tried to get it in Canada. I just couldn't get a good buy on it. I've had the same DVD set for so long. I'm happy with them, but I feel like I got to get them Blu-rays. So
yeah,
I'm keeping an eye on this one anyway. Hopefully it'll be.
I think it's like $25 or $35 US. I mean, not bad. But
hoping it'll hit Prime. Get it shipped up here for goodbye.
There you go. Movie Man 95 says Christmas Evil is another classic. I agree. I love Christmas Evil. And did you know that the guy in Christmas Evil is the father of Fiona Apple? Very odd.
Explains so much.
Trumbo stars Bryan Cranston. I've not heard of it. I'll have to check it out. What about Home Alone? Are you guys fans of Home Alone for non-horror Christmas flicks?
Yeah.
I like the Wet Bandits, but other than that, no.
Yeah, I watch 1 and 2.
Yeah,
2 is probably my favorite.
I think there's a new one out. I was at the store the other day looking at some DVDs, and I had one in my hand, and it was like Home Alone with a subtitle, no number. I've never heard of it. I can't remember what the subtitle was, but I was like, "What is this shit?"
Yeah, there's a 3 or 4 and a 5.
Yeah, it must have been 5, I guess, or something like that. Anyway, because I knew that I could picture the kids from 3 and 4, but I was like, I've not seen this before.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson's one of the kids in part 3, I think.
What?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
I have
very young though, so don't get your hopes up.
Darn. Did you guys hear that there's going to be a Jason Goes to Hell documentary coming out soon?
Yeah,
that's fantastic. I'll be into that.
I look forward actually, but I know not many people like that one. But that's what introduced me to the series. So I love that one.
Ah, cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'd be interesting to hear, from the. Go ahead.
Can they explain how the body jumping Jason Snake thing was a good fucking idea?
Adam Marcus blames it on Sean Cunningham. Sean Cunningham blames it on Adam Marcus. Adam Marcus says it was Sean Cunningham's idea to take Jason out of the movie. Sean Cunningham says it was Marcus's idea to take Jason out of the movie. I actually tend to believe Adam Marcus, though, to be honest.
I was going to say, honestly, Adam Marcus had one flick in there. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard both stories, and I'm leaning on Marcus. I think they messed with the production, toyed with it a bit, tried something new, and left him with standing there with the.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, it has great characters. Creighton Duke. I mean, I enjoy it a lot more now than I ever have. It still ranks as probably one of my least favorite of the Friday movies, but the uncut version is a riot.
Yeah.
I definitely can say it's a good time.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
A good sequel to The Hidden.
Yeah, it's a great sequel.
Yeah, it's all kinds of messed up, but it's a fun watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of excellent characters in there.
Yeah.
The people that own the diner.
Oh,
making those Jason patties. I just think that's one of the best scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, but it'll be cool to hear, like Adam Marcus, and I'm sure like Dean Lorry, who was the co-writer, and a bunch of the actors and stuff will be in on it. It'll be interesting to hear about that production. I wonder if Cunningham will be involved in it in any way.
Probably not, except to be sitting back trying to collect a paycheck.
That's true.
And I hated the design of Jason, the big pumpkin head thing with the Hapa mask or whatever. Even when he was in it, he looked stupid.
Yeah, I'm
sure Uber Jason was stupid. I'm not defending Jason X or anything or any of the other films that might be week. I'm just making a statement that, to me, his look in that film is silly.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I
think
like
that
the
would be
look. I liked it more than Part 8's look.
Part 8.
With the fucking gloves.
Part 8's ending is probably the worst moment in the series. Ending of Part 8. I mean, Part 8 is like right up there with Jason Goes to Hell as being the two shittiest films. And sometimes one overtakes the other, but I think Goes to Hell is a more fun watch. So
I think it's Part 8.
You're saying Jason X. It's worse than Jason X.
Story-wise, yeah. I mean, it's a slug.
The story's the worst part about it.
The coroner eats a heart and becomes Jason, and then pukes out a slug and then he crawls up his dead sister's snatch and becomes Jason again.
That's awesome.
This is good. This is good storytelling.
That's awesome. I love that shit. I love the one I saw on the beach. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
You have to at least admit that it's equally ridiculous as Jason in space.
All of them are ridiculous. The first one, a fucking 50-year-old woman lifted up Bing Crosby's son on the fucking door. She's
exactly. They all have
she's
their,
like 70 years old,
but no, I wasn't defending Jason X.
Jerpian says hashtag Team Roy. I agree.
I'm still Team Brooker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm always going to be Team Brooker.
That's just me.
Did you guys?
He's a good one.
I don't know if the Brooker has. Do you guys know if the Brooker documentary has officially come out yet?
I don't think so. I follow on Facebook. I haven't seen. Okay. They may have done like some openings in like California or something like that. I feel like I've seen some red carpet pics or something like that, but I don't think it's hit a release.
Okay.
But I could be wrong on that.
It's not bad. It's a nice dedication to Brooker.
Did they ever establish how they're going to release this since it's so short? Because it's like
I would have thought they would have made it available online by now, but I guess I don't know. I don't know.
Like to rent or something.
Yeah, or even like
cheap digital download or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, or like what did you guys see? Never Hack Alone?
Not yet. No.
Not yet.
I don't know why. But
that was good. That was good. That was a lot of fun. That was definitely a lot of fun.
Just checking the site of this in memoriam.
So we do have a couple of big shows lined up for the rest of 2017. Next week, we're going to be doing a big versus show. We're going to be talking about two holiday action classics. We're going to pit them against each other in Die Hard versus Lethal Weapon. So that'll be a very interesting, fun show. And then the week after that, we're going to be doing a live commentary for Jingle All the Way 2. No, we're actually going to be doing a live commentary for Silent Night, Deadly Night in 2 weeks. So that'll be a lot of fun. Are you guys getting the new Scream Factory Blu-ray?
I have the film on DVD. I'll probably wait till see if the price comes down.
Okay,
it's down to $17.99 now from $34, so it's like half price. I was thinking about popping for it, but I'm in that phase after Black Friday where I don't usually buy myself anything because I'm in gift buying mode for Christmas. So I kind of feel like a greedy dick if I buy something for myself. Yeah. But at $17.99, it's come down far enough where I could pretty much justify go ahead and
that's a pretty good. I mean, considering that a lot of brand new Scream Factory releases, I mean, you don't see them under, especially the collector's editions, under brand new under $25 or $30. I mean, that's a pretty good freaking deal.
Yeah, I've got the 2 for DVD. It's got both of them on it, but I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting to watch it on Blu-ray because I really do enjoy that flick.
Yeah, and I've heard the transfer is really good, and they've got a lot of new extras on it. I was talking to Robert Brian Wilson, who plays Billy at Horror Hound, a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh, it looks great." And he was like, I recorded did he say a comment? I know he said he recorded interviews for it. I don't remember if he said a commentary or not. But I did ask him. I was like, "So are you going to get some? Are you getting some money off of this Billy figure from NECA?" And he's like, "No, not a dime." But when people take him that thing to sign at conventions, he can pull an Ari Lehman and charge like $40 to sign the figure.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, I understand that a lot of these guys, you know, that's become their new revenue stream, going to these things and signing stuff and posing for pictures. It's just sometimes the greed factor turns me off because you got to pay to get in. Sometimes, like the one you went to in Ohio, I would have to take a week off from work, go to Ohio, spend a bunch of money on a motel room, pay to get in with the food and everything, and then if everybody wants $50 a pop for a photo, you know, I'm a grand deep.
Yeah.
Easy, you know, and no paycheck. So that's a serious money invest. So that's, you know, as a fan, I feel like these people should be getting residuals or some kind of a royalty so that they don't have to do that. But that, like you said, he's not getting a penny from it. And I think that's a shame.
Well, I mean, it was interesting because during the they did a holiday horrors panel where they talked to Robert Brian Wilson, Eric Freeman, the guy from Jack Frost, and Lynn Griffin from Black Christmas. And there's always that one question of, did you guys realize 30 or 40 years ago that this movie that you were in for 2 days was going to become a huge classic? And they're all like, no. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Stop asking.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, exactly. And like, what was funny was, you know, they were all kind of like, you know, they all kind of had, well, no. I mean, or they'd be like, well, you know, I knew it was a great script. They handed the microphone to Eric Freeman. And he's like, are you freaking serious? Eric Freeman's response was, I worked on this movie for 5 days. They paid me $1,500 and I was gone. I never thought I'd talk about this movie ever again. I never thought anybody would ever see it. You know what I mean? And that's like all of them. They're like, you know, but you know, so they didn't get residuals. They got paid next to nothing to do the movie. You know, it's great that the movie became what it became so that they can do conventions today and, you know what I mean, get some of that money back.
That's always a silly question. I mean, you could ask Richard Dreyfuss on the set of Jaws. Did you know that would be the first mega blockbuster?
Yeah.
Or even Star Wars. You know, go to the set of Star Wars and hey, do you know this is gonna? No. How can you?
Yeah. It was funny because they you know they kind of put on their sort of their you know, I'm going to be very tactful. Well, you know, no, of course not. Or, you know, oh, well, you know, yeah, Eric, it's funny because there's like, really? Come on, dude. But, yeah.
Is the 30th anniversary Blu-ray any good?
From Anchor Bay?
Anchor Bay.
No.
Okay.
that was a VA or a DVD upscale. With like the same extras. So, I mean, it was basically just an upscale.
The Blu-ray, the good Blu-rays on sale for $30 in Canada. So that one was $18. I was thinking, I might grab that, but if it's garbage, it's garbage. Anyway, I'll get a copy. Be fun to do that show. I haven't watched that movie in years.
Can you get if you purchase from Amazon US, can you get it shipped to Canada?
You can. I bought a keyboard today because of the holiday discounts on Amazon.com. But what sucks is I had Prime, and it'll come up and it'll say no shipping. But when you go to order it, it does charge you for shipping, duties, everything on top of it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like at the last second. So it depends. It has to be a pretty good discount. I think in this case it would probably level out. Like I'd probably just buy it from .ca.
Okay, because I was thinking, you know, if you're an Amazon Prime US member, will that transfer to Canada or vice versa? Okay.
No, from what I can tell, because like I said, I ordered a keyboard today, and it initially came up and said no shipping. So I put in the order, and then it hit me with the duties and everything. It was still a good buy, so I got it. But yeah, doesn't cross borders, okay, which would be nice. But then I would buy everything from your guys' site, not from Amazon.ca, because the prices are brutal. Well, the prices are.
Amazon would get wise. They'd be like, "This dude in Canada is blowing us up."
He's hitting up Show Factory like crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're right about the conventions, Mike. I mean,
it's not like I don't want to go, you know, because I love these movies and I've been to a convention, so I know it's a fun atmosphere, but it just costs. It's too
very
much.
Expensive, very expensive. And like you said, if it's someplace like far away, you know, you've got to put yourself up, you've got to buy food, you've got to, you know what I mean? It's
you got to get there, you know, whether if you're going to fly, if you don't have time to drive, because that's a nice drive from Orlando.
oh yeah.
You know, we like drive 14 hours straight through, get there. Hey guys, nice to see you. Got to go. Turn around, go back. You know?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. But, you know, so I'm not trying to be overly critical, although I do think some people take advantage. I think there should be some kind of a reasonable limit to where, you know, because now bands even, I know I equate everything musically, I can't help it, but bands are making money. They're not selling records anymore because of the internet. So going into a studio is a waste of money. They have to make that money back on tour. So now they have VIP meet and greet packages, which are the same type of thing as going to a convention, except that it's hundreds of dollars more per ticket. And, oh, you get a photo and you get a this and you get a that, but it's still a cattle line. They just run you in. Hey, how you doing? All right, smile. Next. You know what I mean? And you paid hundreds of dollars for this 5 seconds of a photo op of you looking probably surprised because it happened so fast. Were you surprised that you were standing next to Gene Simmons? No, I didn't even know the camera had gone off before he pushed me away.
Yeah.
Was it worth $500? Well, I guess so. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole culture of that it's like the greed of the corporations is now being, you know, vampired out of us by the artists because they have no choice. I don't know. It's pretty sad the way things are right now.
Yeah. You do get conventions down in Florida, don't you, Mike? Isn't there a couple of big ones that happen down there?
Yeah, there's one in Orlando and one in Tampa.
Okay.
But again, taking a weekend off, even though I'm within driving distance, is still, you know, I'm still going to spend hundreds of dollars to attend this thing. Because, you know, I don't know what you went to the one that had the reunion for part 5. I don't know what the photo op was for the whole group, but I'm sure it would have been substantial. And for me, a couple $100 is a lot of money. I'm not a rich guy.
Yeah, I don't know how much the group shot was. I would I want to say it was probably $70 or $80 for the group shot. Yeah.
And then if you got them individually,
every one of them individually, it was part of the price for the signature. So I think everybody was around 20 or $25. I think John Shepard was 30, but you got the picture at the table.
That's not too bad. When I went in 2000, it was $10.
Yeah.
For, you know, you could buy something off the table and they would sign it for free, or if you brought something, they would sign it for 10, and you got a free picture by the table. There was no photo op. There was none of this crap.
A lot of celebrities now, what they'll do is, if you bring your own item, they'll charge you extra, or they'll charge you extra depending on the size of the item.
Why?
Because they want you to purchase an item off of their table to be signed, or, you know, I mean, it's just a way to make a little extra money. If you take them a big, you know, movie poster, okay, then that's $5 more. If you take them you know, whatever. If you take them a big figure, like when I took I was talking about Ari Lehman earlier. I took him my Pamela Voorhees and little Jason NECA figure, and he was like $40 or $50 to sign that thing, and I was like, "Geez, oh piggy, man!" You know, just a regular autograph and picture with him was $10, but to sign that figure was $40. Okay, but I mean,
the fucking guy.
Yeah, I forget who it was. It was Angus Scrimm or Richard Liberty, but one of them signed for free. I forget which one it was, but they're like, yeah, you can buy something off my table if you want to. I appreciate it, but you don't have to. There was like no purchase necessary type thing. If you have something you want me to sign. And Angus Scrimm actually did a little thing. I had my video camera with me, and I had him look into the camera and go, boy. You know, that was amazing. He did it for free.
Yeah.
And I got to have a nice conversation with him. And now it just seems like it's so much more money, and less. And that would ruin the experience for me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
When was that?
2000. That was Fangoria Weekend of Horrors here in Orlando in 2000.
That's cool.
Got to meet Tony Timpone. He was cool. And I walked around, talked to everybody. I was there for the whole time because I live locally, so it was a lot easier for me just to run up there and check it out. I had a cigarette break with Tom Savini. I am the only guy that's ever had a positive interaction with Tom Savini, and that was the day. He was cool. I don't know. He just seemed.
Let me show you how to vape.
He didn't like dumb shit. So if you came at him with some dumb shit, you were going to get some shit back. But it was like if you were cool, he was cool. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with him.
Yeah, I'm sure there's others out there that have had positive experiences with him. Just, I don't know. But all the Friday the 13th Part 5 people were super cool, and just really cool. It
looked like a blast, and for some of them, I'm glad that they found a way to supplement their income and find a new revenue stream. I think it's great. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying that for the average fan or the fan that's not necessarily rich enough to have a room full of memorabilia from something or another, it's a little taxing monetarily.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And coming from a kid who grew up in the middle of nowhere in Indiana, I mean, meeting these people. I remember when Fangoria conventions only happened in like LA, New York, and Chicago. Mm-hmm. That was like it. There was no other shows. So if you couldn't make the trek, you didn't go.
Yeah.
And even though I lived close enough to Chicago to go, I grew up 50 miles outside of Chicago. There was no way the parents were going to take me to Chicago to do this. And I wasn't going on my own. So I never had the opportunity until I was able to move somewhere else. And they started expanding their shows.
Well, I mean, what's great about this area is convention central.
I lived in Indianapolis for 12 years, not one convention, nothing. It was like the dead zone. I move away and then I get everything. I'm like, oh, that's convenient.
Yeah. So yeah, like the Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, North Carolina, Indiana area is just convention central.
There's a lot just in Ohio.
Yep.
A lot of big horror fans in Ohio.
Yep. There's another horror hound that's going to be in Cincinnati in February or March or something like that. So I mean,
and if you think about it, in the beginning, they started out at the larger population centers so they could, guarantee a larger audience because hey, it's more convenient for these people to come. But now it's cheaper to actually do it in smaller communities. For the renting the venues and all the costs that are incurred by the people that actually, produce the show. It's cheaper for them to do it in more of these out of the way smaller towns. That makes sense.
Pumpkinhead NC84 said, back in the day, I paid $20 extra and got to drink beer with Mudvayne for 2 hours.
So that's a $20 spent well.
Shit, I used to go over to Ybor City in Tampa all the time and go see death metal shows. I ended up drinking with the guys in Cannibal Corpse and Death Angel, and they were just hanging out at the show. I went to see Hypocrisy, and there's Corpse Grinder standing there. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? Hey, do some shots. Did shots with a couple bands. I can't remember some of them. It was great. Good times.
Was Corpse Grinder like, I'll buy you a beer?
Dude can barely talk now. How you doing?
He can barely talk now. Yeah,
it's like a whisper.
If you're in an interview, that's like, yeah, that album about flesh-eating zombies was great. But then he's on stage, he's like, blah, 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 blah. So,
I don't support drinking and driving, and I haven't done it in a long time. But the last time I did it was when I did Jaeger bombs with Nile at the House of Blues. I was in the moment, and then after I got in the car, I thought, fuck, now I got to drive.
Just tell the cops, he'll understand.
Good time.
Cameron's joined us. Cameron, we've pretty much abandoned the Steven Spielberg show, and we're just shooting the bull tonight.
Okay, yeah, because that's what happened. I get home, I turn it on, see you guys are live. I'm like, Steven Spielberg retrospective. I want to hear Rambo screaming about something, and I hit play. I hit play, and I get B Movie Mike talking about having a cigarette with Tom Savini, and I'm like, I got to get on this thing now. Yeah. So, what are some of the topics you guys have already kind of BS'd about?
Oh gosh, let's see. We've talked about
we are rudderless and adrift.
Exactly. Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving, Cameron? Did you participate in any Black Friday sales?
Went to Walmart in the middle of nowhere, Nevada.
Okay.
I listen. I don't want to stereotype, but my wife and I were some of the only people there that had teeth actually in our mouth. Most of them had like protruding teeth coming out. It was like, it looked like The Hills Have Eyes. And from what I understand, Walmart in that area is usually empty, but of course all the dregs of the mountains came out.
Didn't they do some testing back there in the 40s?
Yeah, I think they did. And
there you go.
I gotta tell you, the Walmart selection this year sucked. I mean, it was completely terrible. And which is rare. I mean, usually their sales are like the best ones. You know, Best Buy too, but Walmart for sure. This time, it was really terrible. So I didn't get very much. I basically got stuff to like take the voodoo code and sell the disc off. You know, so
very good.
Yeah, but no, it was good. It was, I flew out to Nevada, and that was a big experience because I have not been on an airplane since before 9/11. So it was, I have never gone through that kind of security before. And of course, it's just really bizarre landing in Las Vegas. That's the major airport. And of course, right there is where that shooting happened. And so you can still see, obviously the hotel with the window, and they have it boarded up. But, you're right there. When you land, you see the oil tankers he was shooting at the airport to try to make it explode at the airport, So it's just unbelievable. They have memorials all over the place there. So,
crazy.
Yeah, that it is.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I miss seeing my family. They moved to Nevada, and it was kind of a shame because when I used to go to Thanksgiving at their house, I would come back with tons of leftovers, but I can't do that on the plane, so I had to leave it all there. It was kind of a bummer. Now I have to actually go grocery shopping this week.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen any good movies lately?
I haven't, but I do have a question for you, Piz, because I watched your awesome review of Suspiria the other day, the Umbrella video.
Thank you.
I see there's another Suspiria released too on a disc, not the Synapse one, but there's a third one. Like, how many times is this movie being released on Blu-ray this year on different companies?
Oh, really? I didn't know there was a third one.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. I can't remember what it was, but I saw another one. I was like, that is not the Umbrella, and that is not the Synapse. So there's like a third one out there now.
Is it sporting a 4K transfer?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
And I think all three of them, because like the ones on the Umbrella disc are not on the Synapse, right? Different extras. So it's like you're gonna have to, and then none of them have the Anchor Bay documentary that was on that 3-discer. So I'm stuck now with having 3 copies of it. So, people think I have a lot of movies. I actually just have duplicates across the whole row, So,
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, did you guys see that the Synapse Blu-ray Steelbook Blu-ray release is going to be $90? Are you guys
looking at it right now? $89.95.
It was $50 on their website though on Synapse.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, it's $50 on Synapse, and Amazon jacked it to $90.
I know.
And so it is what it is. But Piz, you and I were talking the other day because Amazon dropped Night of the Living Dead Criterion at 18 the other day, and by the time I went to buy it, they pulled it. So, but then I got a tip that Walmart.com was selling it with Silence of the Lambs also for 18. So for 36 and free shipping right now, you can get 2 Criterions.
But now, was that when I looked? That was only the DVD. That wasn't the Blu-ray of Night of the Living Dead.
No, I got the Blu-ray of it.
Okay, because when I looked on Walmart.com, it was the DVD for 18, and they had the Blu-ray for 24, 25.
Then I must have got in right before they jacked it up again.
Okay.
So, but then you were saying it had gone on Amazon to 16.
Well, no, I was wrong. I knew it was under 20 in that neighborhood, but Amazon did have it it was 18. But then they ended up pulling it or whatever. So,
I mean, I'm happy to get it for whatever, but I mean, I've owned Night of the Living Dead so many times. No offense, Rambo, but I've owned it so many times that I'd like to get it for as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I mean, typically a brand new Criterion at $25 is still a pretty good price for a Criterion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't actually think I own any Criterions now because of the price. Really, I mean, I know they have their sales every once in a while, but are they really that much better?
In many cases, yes.
I mean, the picture quality can only be so good depending on the television you're watching it on.
it's not necessarily the picture quality, which is it's there. It's like owning like a masterpiece book of like William Shakespeare. It's like it's the best of the best version you're gonna get. You know, they put so much care into it.
And then there was Armageddon.
And then there was Army and The Rock. Don't forget that.
I was kind of looking at
The Rock makes more sense. Armageddon. It's like, what the fuck?
Their release of Blowout, but I'm not a fan of some of their covers. Some of the artwork. It doesn't scream by me, especially you look at the artwork.
I think they're
and then you look at the price and you go, oh hell no.
They're next doing the Breakfast Club criterion.
Yes, but that's got an hour of deleted scenes from John Hughes's work print version that we've all been hearing about for 20 years. So.
Oh wow, cool.
I didn't know that. I just saw it was on it.
Yeah, because the original cut was 2 hours and 45 minutes. So this is the hour that was not in it. So
Jesus.
yeah. And so I immediately grabbed that. I mean, I just had to get that one.
For fans of the film, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
I own several Criterions, but I'm not like crazy for Criterion movies.
And I was asking out of curiosity because I've never bought one. The price has kept me away. It's just, I just wondered if it was actually really worth it, or if they could just charge that premium price because of the name.
Well,
it's kind of like Arrow, you know. People really like Arrow films, their releases. You know, Piz does a number of videos about those, and they're great too. Arrow to me is sort of like, or Scream Factory to me is the criterion of like the horror kind of labels. It's like, when you got The Thing or something like that, it's like that is just amazing. Criterion's not going to do that, but they will. So I love that kind of attention to detail when they take a film they feel is important and really, do the best version.
Yeah. That's why I do own an Arrow, the bird with the crystal plumage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good version. But that's why I was wondering, because normally your Scream Factories come in at less money than your Criterions.
Yeah.
Is it actually worth? I mean, is it that much better than the Scream Factory releases to qualify that price?
Well, I mean, I would honestly, I never buy full price. I always wait for the Barnes and Noble or Criterion 50% sale, and then I get 2 or 3. I wait a while till they have a few titles I want, and then I, buy 3 or 4 at a time. I don't buy every one of their titles because that's insane, and I'm not made of money. But for the titles you really like. I mean, especially if they get behind a filmmaker you really like, because I know Piz really likes Terrence Malick. So they've been releasing, they have 3 versions of The New World on Blu-ray, and you may not like that movie, but fans of that movie, I mean, they have 3 different cuts of it, which has never been available before. So
a lot of times they'll release a film and they'll call it the collector's edition, and you're lucky if there's a TV spot and maybe a featurette. So it sounds to me like Criterions are the real deal collector's editions. They're the ones that have all the shit you would ever want.
Mostly. Now, if it's a film like from the 1935, there's not a lot of EPK featurettes, they can find for it.
Yeah.
But but this Night of the Living Dead disc, right? It even includes the work print Romero had, Night of the Lepus, or not Lepus. That's the rabbit movie. What was it called?
Anubis.
Night of the Lepus. Sorry.
Where's the Night of the Lepus Criterion collection? What I want.
Yeah. But that's cool. I've never seen that before. So things cool. Like that. Yeah.
I mean, to be a Criterion, to be a member of the Criterion collection, it's like you have to be a big deal film or from a big deal filmmaker, and they usually go out of their way to get extras or to get you like with if you don't have a lot of extras, then that means that they put a lot of care into the transfer of the film, or they'll get the director's cut, or they'll get as much deleted footage as they possibly can. They try and make it Criterion worthy one way or the other.
Yeah, and they consider it to be like these are the most important films. Like if you make it into their library, right? But of course, people still kind of wince when you see that there's a 2-disc Blu-ray of Solo that they released, which if you've never seen that, is one of the most horrifying movies you've ever seen in your life. Yeah. It was voted #1 most disturbing film of all time back in like 1994. So
it still is. What's the other title? Solo or
the 120 Days of Sodom.
There you go.
That's just
Teach us of that.
Yeah. They never reproduced that for 4K 3D. So
That makes sense.
Stingray, what's your thoughts on Criterion Collection discs? Have you got any Criterions?
Yeah, I have a few Blu-rays. I have a few DVDs that I got like secondhand off eBay or somewhere. I mean, I like them; they're great, and I'd like to have more, but that price point really stops me. I mean, even the Barnes and Noble deals. I mean, first Barnes and Noble jacks their prices up higher than anybody else to begin with. So,
Right.
I mean, you're really not getting that great of a deal with that sale.
You
The
give people
best
an idea. I'm a cheap bastard. I try to go for $10 and under. So that's why Criterion to me seems so expensive.
Well, the best time is to find when the Criterion website is doing like their big sales. That's always that's when I've bought Criterion collections, is when they're having those sales on the website.
It's got to be something special to spend more than 20 though.
It's 20 usually on the sales, $20 a Blu-ray. You get that happens like 2 or 3 times a year. But if you have a Costco around you, a lot of times Costco will get the new ones in, and they'll just immediately throw them up there at $19.99 in your store.
Oh, wow.
Like,
That's cool.
so it's just keep your eyes out, and every once in a while you'll find one in a pawn shop. Not likely, but you will.
Yeah. Well, Stingray, I know you're a convention goer. Are you planning on going to any conventions anytime soon?
Yeah, I think we're planning on going back to Pensacon in Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
It's coming up in February, I believe.
You and your buddy Dale?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's going to be there?
It's Fright Night. What do you call it when they all get together? Fright Night reunion.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty much everybody minus of course the television guy. I can't think straight right now. I can't remember his name. Roddy McDowell.
Roddy McDowell, of course. Yeah. They're really cool. I got to they had a reunion of them at Mad Monster Party a couple years ago. They were all pretty cool. Chris Sarandon. I told you guys on the show about me tormenting Chris Sarandon, which it was fun to torment him. And I was actually when I was at Horror Hound, Chris Sarandon was there, and I got to talking. Well, my girlfriend got to talking to a girl that works for the convention who was Chris Sarandon's handler one year, and apparently somebody walked by his table. And he freaked out because he thought the guy had taken a picture of him. So he yelled for this girl to go chase the guy down and take his phone away from him because he had taken a picture of him without consent. So this woman, and of course, she's like 3 feet tall. You know what I mean? Chris Sarandon is telling her to go chase down this man and physically take his cell phone away from him. So this girl goes, okay. She gets up and she walks out in the hallway and stands around for a couple of minutes and goes back in and goes, he got away. But yeah, so Chris Sarandon, ladies and gentlemen.
That might explain why you didn't do too much after Child's Play.
I thought that was funny. That was funny. But all the other Friday Night people I met were really cool. Amanda Bierce is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I would
Stephen Jeffries. I want to meet him too.
Yeah,
Marcy Darcy.
William Ragsdale was really cool. I talked to him about Herman's Head.
Yes.
They were all really cool.
I just watched Mannequin 2 yesterday. It was in that as well.
Yes, Mannequin 2.
Is that movie truly on the move, Jay?
Oh man, Christy Swanson is.
Christy Swanson is on the convention scene now, really? And I saw some pictures of her, and she's aged well.
Yeah, she's still very beautiful.
Maybe you could teach her some higher learning.
There you go. Oh goodness. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. I saw somebody mention. Pumpkinhead NC84 says there's 2 conventions in Charlotte, Mad Monster and Days of the Dead next year. He also mentions that Robert Englund is going to be at one of them, but he's afraid to see how much his prices are going to be. If it's Robert Englund, you're looking to spend about $200 if you want a picture and an autograph.
Yeah, you should be afraid, very afraid.
Man, he never used to charge.
I knew there was a reason I didn't get an autograph from him, and that's got to be it.
Yeah. So you're looking at about $200.
Wow.
Yeah, I would much rather give some guy that was in a horror movie, one horror movie back in the 80s, $20 than to give somebody like that 150.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, come on, you're only doing it because you can.
When he was at Scarefest in Kentucky last back in the summer, I want to say it was like, it was about $100 for each. So I mean, if you wanted a picture, it was going to run you about $100. If you wanted an autograph, it was going to run you about $100. So I mean,
no way. There is no way.
$200 for him. Yeah. And I don't think it was a costumed photo with him either. It was just him in front of the.
Well, wasn't that supposed to be the last one in Chicago when he was charging $350 for that?
Yep, that was supposed to be it. Yep, that's true. Yep.
When he was in a T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they marketed it. Wasn't
Thanks for going all out, man. Thanks.
The last time in the makeup.
Yeah,
I remember that. Got us again.
I would like to meet him, and but I mean, my God, $200. It's like, dude, come on.
And this is insane because I've done the convention circuit for years too, and I have his autograph on so many things. He never charged. He always was the nicest person. And now since they've really turned this thing into a business, it's just, this is why I don't go anymore. I mean, I used to go to Fangoria's all the time, and then they stopped and they splintered off into like 4 or 5 around here, or not around me, but down in LA. And so I don't go anymore because I feel like I'm going to see 1/5 of the show that I'm usually seeing. And so, and now, especially after the whole Walking Dead thing happened and people charging up the yin yang, I'm just sorry. I know what it was like before. So all I'll do is I'll feel the difference, and I mean, if I didn't know if I was cold and I'd never been to one, I'd say go, but if you've been going and all of a sudden what used to be free is now $100, forget it.
Yeah.
I'd rather just peruse the dealer tables and buy things there.
Or take a cruise, man. You could cruise for a week over the money you'd spend at the damn convention over the weekend.
I've never been to one, and I say fuck that shit. Fuck that. All
right. Here's okay. Rambo. There's a convention in your hometown. Stallone's gonna be there.
Oh, he's going to charge another $1,000.
Okay, no.
Okay.
How much would you be willing to pay for an autograph and a photo with Stallone?
$10.
Wow.
$10 total? Okay. Well,
here's the thing. I'm not into autographs and photos because I'm like, it's what you are trained to do in fucking elementary schools, to write in cursive, and you didn't pay for writing in cursive. No one was paying us in school to write fucking cursive. I mean, it's the easiest thing, and it's a picture that you can find 100 of them on the internet and print off. I mean,
hey Rambo, I'd pay you $100 right now for that German poster of the Golden Child behind you. That's amazing.
I was trying to read it. I was like, man, what am I?
Someone sent that to me a long time ago, so that was really cool. I had it over here, so then I put it over here.
That's amazing. You should frame that. Go to Walmart and get a $10 frame. Save that Stallone money.
Well, you guys hit on something. It's not just the, you're buying the autograph, you're buying the picture. I like to buy posters. I like to put those posters in a frame. So the poster is an additional charge. The frame is $20. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a freaking, it's like an investment. I think I was talking on this show not long ago about my Friday the 13th poster. I mean, there's like $300 in that thing or more just in signatures from all the people that I've had sign it, and it's a poster. But I mean, it's got,
and because of the I don't know, these conventions, there's so many autographs floating around that these autographs are no longer worth money. Because that was the one thing that made autographs worth money, is that they were rare.
Well, here's the thing too, and this was happening for a little while at conventions. If you if you didn't want the celebrity to personalize it, if you just wanted them to sign their name, they would charge you more because they figured you were going to take that signature and go online and sell it.
Yep.
But here's the ridiculous thing is that you have these guys like on The Walking Dead, or you mentioned Stallone, all these. You're getting paid a lot of money, like hundreds of thousands of dollars on those TV shows, like on The Walking Dead and all this stuff. Like Robert England, he's made like 100 movies. And you're telling me you don't have any money?
But see, it's easy money. It's easy money, and it's big money.
I know it's tax-free money. Yes. Don't forget that. Nobody knows how much you're making. And you know what, Rambo, you mentioned that, but look at Nick Cage, right? This is a guy that used to choose his movies very carefully. And then he increased his lifestyle to a point where he couldn't support himself. So he has to take whatever he can to help support that. And that's what's going on here is whatever money these people are left with, because they're agents, they're managers, they're publicists, they all take money too. Whatever money they're left off with, they've increased their lifestyle. So they're not still living like the out of work actors they used to be. They've increased their lifestyle. So in order to supplement that lifestyle, they have to do these extra things on the side.
Well, and conventions aren't just, when you think of a convention, you think of like the guy who did one movie 30 years ago. It's not like that anymore. The freaking cast of the Avengers are doing conventions now. Chris Hemsworth was in Australia doing a convention and charging $500 for a picture. The girl who plays Scarlet Witch was at a convention charging big bucks for stuff. You know what I mean? It's not has-beens and C-list actors. It's mainstream now. You know what I mean? Because they see how much it's enormous money, tax-free, completely off the book. Nobody's keeping track of it. And all you're doing is you're doing nothing.
2 hours of your time.
And some of it is almost like a value added to their name. It's like, how much are you commanding? Oh, $450. Well, I'm $5. And I guess they say if they take less money, they'll be seen as a lesser product or something.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember that Ernie Hudson convention? He kept changing his price.
He got in trouble for that. And then when I met him the very next day, literally after I took the picture with him, I was like, how much? He literally was like, how much do you want to give me? Literally.
What you got?
I swear to God, that's how it was. There wasn't. It was because usually it's like they're
don't
like,
ask me that question.
Exactly. He's like, how much money?
I was thinking 5. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I was like, here's. I don't remember how much I gave him, but I mean, he was like, how much you want to? I mean, like he was like, I pull out my wallet. It was like a gun. He was just like, whatever,
I'm gonna pull out bills and I'll point to them.
And they used to, and they used to like, you would, like if you paid them anything, let's say $10-20, they would sign whatever you had there as long as it wasn't like a million things, right? But like one time I had Steve Rails back, he was signing my Helter Skelter and I had Life Force there and I didn't even give him Life Force. It just was sitting on the table next to me. And he took Life Force and then he did his autograph on Helter Skelter. Then he took Life Force and did his autograph too and said, that'll be $40. I said, no, I only gave you one. He's like, $40. Because he just signed them without even asking me, and then demanded the extra $20.
Calm down, Charlie. 40 coming.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about the changing the price. Michael Baldwin of Phantasm did that one year at a convention where he was he was kind of like, I guess, the low man in the room. I mean, keep in mind this was who all was at this convention, but like Michael Biehn was at this convention, and I think like Linda Blair and a bunch of bigger names, bigger than Michael Baldwin. So he went around the room saying, well, dude, you're worth more than that. You should raise your price. You're worth more than that. Raise your price. So when they raise their prices, he can raise his, but still be lower. But he's raised his price. So he was going around petitioning the other celebs to raise their prices so that he could raise his.
I've heard he's kind of a jerk. Have you had any experience with him?
Nope. I refused to get his autograph at that convention. And then when they had a Phantasm reunion at Scarefest a few years ago, it was like Don Coscarelli, thank you. Reggie Bannister, thank you. Michael Baldwin, F you. Next person. Just walked right past him.
Why? Like what was about him? Just because of that situation, or?
Yeah, just because of that situation. Yeah.
I prefer James LaGrosse.
James, yeah, I should have stopped him.
Oh man,
I prefer James LaGrosse.
I do too.
I would have had him sign James LaGrosse's name.
Like, oh damn, I thought James LaGrosse was going to be here. Oh well.
Love you for it.
No, because they have it. Because Pacino and De Niro have a deal that, like, if people come up and to Pacino and say we love you in Raging Bull, Al Pacino will sign Robert De Niro's autograph, and same thing. De Niro will sign Al Pacino's name.
That's funny.
But I mean, really, like, that's not it. You know, I think the main draw for me is just the camaraderie and the experience with the other common fans. It's just, I mean, you're never in an area with people with a common interest like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right. Especially when they used to do like reserved seating and stuff. I know they did this at Fangoria. So like if you bought your tickets for the next year, you would be kind of like where you were. So if you got a good seat, you could stay in that seat. Mm-hmm. And, you know, after about 4 or 5 years, you really get to know, like, you know, the 10 people that sit around you. And that was more fun than seeing the same celebrity like every year. It's like, I've seen you. And it was like, we went more to hang out with each other than it was to like see the celebrity we've already gotten the autograph 10 times over already.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people that do that. They pay their way into the show just to party, just have a party, just to hang out, you know. It
kind of becomes a Rocky Horror Picture Show type of thing.
Exactly. Or like they come in a costume, and you know what I mean. So
yeah, and if you're lucky enough to be at a convention where Doug Bradley is, it's definitely a party. Because that guy will drink all night long at the parties, and then you'll see him in the restaurant at 7 in the morning eating his oatmeal.
Yeah, I was a huge Rocky Horror head back in the 80s. And I've probably been to the movie 100 times, but only actually watched it about 35. You just go to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you put on shock treatment, everyone goes home. So
I would run home.
Somebody said, where is it about the Sausage Factory? A group shot for the Sausage Factory would be $600.
You mean we can charge that much?
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
we
like
a convention to go to.
Yeah, we should. Yeah,
I think
somebody was. It's a Jerpin is like worth it as long as you're getting orcs for sure. So as long as orcs in the picture, it's worth money.
Listen, I'll take a second, and I hopefully this doesn't embarrass you, Piz, but you've been doing your channel for so long. You have so many, you know, people that really love and respect your opinion. I'm really shocked that none of the conventions around you have you come as a moderator for any of the panels.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun.
I could see that.
Yeah,
that would be fun. Not to speak ill of anybody, but there was a moderator at one of the panels I sat in on at Horror Hound who tried to make the panel about him and not the people on the panel. Yeah, so.
I see.
Yeah.
If you could have a choice of maybe a panel you would like to do, what would you like to do?
Oh God, I mean, like, the Friday the 13th Part 5 reunion panel would have been perfect for me. My God.
Silent and Deadly Night.
I mean, that one would have been perfect too. Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. Yeah, either one of those would have been perfect.
Mm.
Yeah, right up my alley. Oh, okay.
Chainsaw 2.
Chainsaw 2. There you go. That'd be a good one. I'm trying to think of some really bad movies I like.
Garbage Pail Kids reunion.
There we go. Garbage Pail Kids reunion. That'd be right up my alley too.
The peanut butter solution retrospective.
Of course, that'd be right up my alley. Of course, yeah. So that would be fun, but yeah, no, I don't know.
We might do a moderator on Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Oh God! Oh my God!
I'd end up dead or in jail.
Hell, man, with all the contacts you've got, you could do your own convention. You know, if you're willing to go through all that stress.
Let's take a minute and kind of digress here and just, you know, we've got the fire going in the background, you know, it's all warm and cozy, and it's that holiday season again, and you know, let's take a walk down memory lane with a new segment entitled Raiho's holiday memories. Raiho, why don't you tell us one of your favorite holiday memories?
I wish I had like an eggnog.
The smoking jacket.
Yeah, a nice smoking jacket. Join me on a trip down memory lane to an easier time, a simpler time, when you didn't have to pay $200 for an autograph from Robert Englund. Holiday memories.
What was your all-time favorite Christmas gift as a kid?
Oh gosh, it's an excellent one. I mean, I'm a big gamer guy. I got a lot of my consoles as Christmas gifts. I'm trying to pick which one. It's hard to say. Like, I don't remember getting my NES. I kind of remember getting it. I was pretty young. I do remember playing that for the first time, being like, "What the fuck is this? I'm supposed to. What is this?" Anyway, probably the Super Nintendo. Maybe I'm having a hard. Probably getting my Super Nintendo because I'd seen it at a neighbor's house like that summer, and I was like, "There's a Super Nintendo? What?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna make another one of these, and like, I remember picking up the controller and being like, "There's way too many buttons on this thing," and you know, I got one at Christmas or whatever, and I was pretty excited. And I got Super Mario World, and I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time.
Oh, it's a good game.
And I played that game and completed it that day. I was obsessed. I was a huge turtle kid too, so it was like, and this was the game that was in the arcades. You know, you go to the arcades and they'd have the arcade game there at the time, and I was popping quarters into that and shit. So I was like, I got the home version, you know what I mean? And I sat down and just like played that game all day. Like, my parents were like, "Get to bed." And I'm like, "No, I can't stop. I'm almost a Super Shredder, Mom." So yeah, that was pretty hype. That was a pretty good one. So there you go. There's a holiday memory.
That's awesome. What about your favorite Christmas gift as an adult?
Ooh, as an adult. It's a good one too. I'm just trying to think here. It's probably still video games. I'm trying to think here. Shit. My favorite. Well, one of my favorites that I did get. I don't have it in, like, for years. If you'd watched my videos back in my old apartment, you would have seen it in the background. But I had this like amazing Salvador Dali print that my wife got done for me, and it's like all on like this really nice board and all this stuff. I had it up for years in my videos. I still have it up, like it's up in my computer room, but it's just not on camera or anything like that. But like the first year we were dating, she picked this up for me, and she was trying to convince me. We go home for Christmas. We both used to live up north, and she was like, "We should do our presents, you know, for Christmas, you know, in the city and all this stuff." And I was like, no, we got to do it. We got to go home for Christmas. And she just didn't want to lug this thing, right? It was like this huge thing. And so she's trying to like, so anyway, she had to like come up with this plan to ship it up with her brother and all this shit. And it was pretty good story afterwards. She's like, "Why wouldn't you just open one damn present before we hit the road," kind of thing, right? But I really love that thing, and I've still got it hanging upstairs. I really love it. It's a really great print. But that's probably it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesomeness. Great inaugural episode of Raiho's Holiday Memories.
Off the cuff, I've been working for the last half hour. I wasn't even paying attention to you guys. I was paying attention. I'm just joking.
Let's see. I saw Pumpkinhead NC84 says his favorite gift as a child was Teddy Ruxpin.
Nice choice.
The 90s guy says getting his Nintendo for Christmas in 1987.
I was getting my Sega Master System at that time.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, you were that guy.
Yeah. Hey, I like Afterburner, okay?
No, I've got one now. I didn't have one at the time. I didn't even know it existed.
Claire says that she would pay to meet us. but only if Cole shows his nips and B Junior showed up.
That's easy.
Neither of those two things are happening. I'll tell you, my worst Christmas gift was fucking My Buddy doll.
Oh, really? I wanted a My Buddy doll so bad as a kid. I never got one.
All right, let's find one on
It's like-
eBay and send it to Piss.
No, you know what I did get? I got this for myself. It wasn't a Christmas gift. I always wanted a Stretch Armstrong. And for the longest time they didn't make those things. And like if there was one that still stretched on eBay, they wanted like hundreds of dollars for it. So they finally reissued Stretch Armstrong, and I bought myself a Stretch Armstrong, and I would just sit and stretch and pull and just like watching TV. And like one day I stretched it, and like I felt this goop on my hand.
I was just gonna ask you, did you get gooped?
And that goop inside it is like glue.
Yeah.
It got stuck on it. I thought it was going to tear the flesh off of me. It was so gluey and sticky. And like if you I grabbed it to pull it, well, it's like webbing. And then it was stuck on this hand. It's stuck on this hand. There's a big web of it hanging here. I mean, it was a mess.
That's the only thing I remember about Stretch Armstrong is that everyone that I knew that got one broke it eventually, and that stuff with that syrup, whatever the hell it was, would come out of it.
I thought you were going to say you bought it just to cut it open.
Oh no! I loved it. I would sit and squeeze it and stretch it and do stuff, and it had gotten. I don't know if my cat had gotten a hold of it or what, but it had somehow got a tiny hole in it, and when I went to stretch it, just ripped, and the stuff just went.
I remember buying cereals back in the day just to get the wacky wall crawlers inside of them.
I love them. I love those things. I love those things.
They don't even do like toys and cereal anymore. Kids are so stupid these days.
Here's the topic. Super Mario cereal. Have you guys seen this?
What was it now?
Super Mario cereal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kellogg's is putting it out.
New.
It's new. Like this is a new thing. It's coming out like I think this December. People are like pre-ordering this shit already. It's cereal. It has like amiibo. The box is an amiibo. So like you can scan it into Super Mario Odyssey, I guess, and it'll. I don't know what the frick it does. I've never had an amiibo, but anyway, they got this cereal coming out. It's like limited edition Kellogg's Super Mario cereal with like marshmallows and shakes.
Even Nintendo's cereal.
This is what I'm saying. Like it's only gonna be released in the U.S. Like, there's people like I'm on a subreddit with a bunch of Canadians, and they're already like making deals like for $20 to get like boxes shipped up to them. Like I'm like, it's cereal.
Black market on that fucking cereal, man.
And I thought it was weird out here. We have blueberry pancake Captain Crunch.
That sounds so good. Oh, I want it.
You know what? Somebody said I was like on that subreddit. Somebody in the States like sent a picture of one of your guys' cereal aisles, and I was just like, I started to like weep, like fell over. It's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I love cereal and food cereal guy. I was like staring at it. I was like, there's like 4 different kinds of Captain Crunch. There's like, if I showed you our crappy cereal aisle, you'd be like, you poor people.
Just like. Yeah, there's like oops all berries. It's just the berries. It's just the good.
It's just the berries. I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
That is something that's been going on more and more with all food products. Like everything's like a collector now. Like Oreos, just like there's mystery Oreos, which are fruity pebbles, and there's any kind of flavor. There's all the different kinds of sodas. Like Mountain Dew has this holiday brew, and all it is Cold Red and Mountain Dew put together.
Hey, I ran to the store after I saw Piz's video of getting that Ecto cooler. I was like, it's out again?
I've still got some of that somewhere. I held on to it. I've still got some.
Well, I was just going to say, like, there's all these people on, like, I'm following on the subreddit that are, like, they're going to buy a box to eat and one to hoard. Like that's how this thing's gonna sell. You're gonna see a bunch of people going up to the counter with 2 boxes of the shit, one to tuck away for the collection.
People are like that with the like, you know, a blueberry and frankenberry and, you know, during Halloween.
That cereal is not good.
I'm not so much with them because I know they come out every year, you know. But when you get those novelty Captain Crunch boxes, and they did not sell at all. And so you find those at like your dollar grocery outlet stores and stuff. Those are the collectibles.
I heard that I was reading somewhere about American like food brands that are outlawed in other countries. Fruit Loops is outlawed in other countries because it contains chemicals that are known to be harmful. And I'm thinking, I've eaten 1 million bowls.
I was just going to say, if you saw the amount of Fruit Loops that come to this house.
You know, it's like, I love Fruit Loops. You know what I mean? But they're like banned in like other countries because they're so bad for you.
Yeah,
that's why the Nintendo shot you, because of the chemicals.
Yeah. I'm like a walking nuclear reactor here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sir, were you trying to eat the Nintendo?
You never know. We've probably eaten so many cancerous materials. We probably transcended those materials. So it might take some actual real radiation to conquer us.
They feed Fruit Loops to somebody in like Brazil and they like die on the spot.
They could make Fruity Pebbles out of rat poison and I'd still eat this shit. It's delicious.
It is still good. It is still good.
Yeah.
That's what we don't get. I never had a Fruity Pebble in my life.
Oh man, those are good. The chocolate ones are good too.
I want to have peanut butter crunch, Captain Crunch. Is that like I keep hearing because I love
It's
peanut butter
round.
cups.
It's round balls.
My favorite one of those right now is Oops All Berries, where they just get rid of the Captain Crunch. It's just the berries.
Peanut butter's always been my favorite.
I've been on a huge Cocoa Krispies kick here lately. I'm just like destroying Cocoa Krispies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Do you guys remember when General Mills switched over to whole grain? All their cereals are whole grain. Like, I don't think they're as good as they used to be. So for the most part, I buy like generic for all those, the old school cereals.
I buy generic for like
because I think they're better.
Cheerios for
The only
Shreddies.
The only
like
cereal. I'm sorry. The only cereal my mom never bought me, and I still have never had it to this day, is Cookie Crisp. Because my mom was like, I am not buying you chocolate chip cookies for cereal.
We got that up here like a couple of like this year at some point. I went to a grocery store and they had Cookie Crisp, and I near flipped my shit.
I'm not that.
And had Cookie Crisp for the first time in my life, and it was not that great.
Yeah, I'm not a
It's
fan.
not
like
the same.
Look, now it's whole grain now. It was better before.
It was
Right,
better
exactly.
before.
Back when it was the Cookie Crook and it first came out, it was really good.
Yeah.
But it's not good anymore.
One that is completely ruined up here. I don't know if you guys do you guys get Frosted Cheerios?
We used to. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Frosted Cheerios when that came out, I ate that shit. I can't even tell you. Cole too, like boxes and boxes and stuff. Loved it. And they recently brought it back out and it's all like Frozen branded. Like it's got all the characters from Frozen on it, and it's like a limited edition thing. I got a box of it, and like I eat Cheerios all the time. Apple cinnamon Cheerios is one of my favorites. I don't know what they did, but like the Cheerio itself is garbage. Let alone whatever they put on it. Like it's not even the same size. Like I was sitting there, I was so excited, like Frosted Cheerios, I'm jacked up. I'm sitting there like it was disgusting. I threw up the whole box. Like I don't know what they did to the Frosted Cheerios, but it was it was literally Cheerios. It wasn't like a knockoff. I don't know.
So Raiho, you're saying you let it go?
Yeah, I did let it go.
Oh, yeah.
Manny Gatillo says, I'm eating a bowl of Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes right now.
Living a life,
I
man.
mixed them.
I've always liked that combo.
Now, is he at the bottom of both boxes, or did he get those like little camping packs and he just put those in two in a bowl?
Split the box.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. I could seriously talk about breakfast cereal for like another straight hour.
I'm pretty excited to talk about cereal right now.
I think talking about cereal is more interesting than talking about Steven Spielberg. So
there we go. Somebody mentioned Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I used to be a huge Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's another whole grain thing. It's not good anymore.
Yeah,
I buy an off brand in a bag of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and it is 10 times the cereal. It's like in this great big bag. I can't remember what it's called, and it is absolutely excellent. I eat that a lot.
Okay.
It's really good.
The 90s guy says salted caramel Pepsi was pure diabetes.
I've never heard of that.
That's my flavor.
My girlfriend got me a bottle of that because I love caramel, and I was like, this is probably going to be nasty. And like, I took a big sip of it and I was like, oh God, this is awful. And then like 5 minutes later, I drank the whole bottle. Like I couldn't stop drinking it, but it was awful. I drank the whole bottle.
I did the same thing with the ginger. Did you guys try the ginger? They had ginger Pepsi. I don't know if maybe it was a Canadian thing. It was a couple, I guess it was about a year ago, maybe, or less. Anyway, it might have been the summertime. They actually came with a bunch of Pepsis up here this year, which we never get. We got like Throwback. We got cherry pretty regularly. We got lemon. Like we don't usually get them. And they had ginger at the start of it, and it was absolutely god awful. I've never had it. Like and I'm still like, this is so gross. Like I did the exact same thing. And when I heard salted caramel was coming out, I was like, I got to see if this is coming out in Canada. I got to try it. And no, luckily I will dodge that bullet. It's not
Jay was
coming out
talking about how cereals changed their formula. I think Pepsi doesn't taste the same anymore. The only Pepsi product I consume is Mountain Dew. Everything else, I'm on the Coke side of things. I actually even prefer Mellow Yellow to Mountain Dew. I don't know what it is about, but straight Coke versus straight Pepsi, even cherry Coke versus cherry Pepsi. Pepsi tastes like shit to me now. I don't know what it is.
The last one. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I said the last one of those I tried was Tropical Mountain Dew, which is tastes like a bad Starburst or something.
Doesn't sound good.
The Red, White, and Dew last summer was pretty good, but the Holiday Dew was very disappointing.
You said that's just Code Red?
Yeah. I used to just drink that stuff all the time at work, and then I would wonder why at 3 a.m. I was still awake.
Yeah, that's it. Now, I don't know. Now, do you guys like the holiday pies from McDonald's? Because I love those freaking things.
What's a holiday pie?
It's a holiday pie. It's got a custard filling.
Oh wow! No,
I never got them.
It's got like sprinkles on it.
Oh wow!
And, it's so good.
I like them, but not when they start serving them before Halloween. I have a fundamental problem with that. But they're good when they're fresh. You know, God forbid you get one that's been in the holding rack and it's like in its last 30 seconds of life. Not a good experience.
I don't know if we have those here.
What kind of flavor is it?
But I used to sprint to McDonald's on the holidays whenever they came out with the McRib.
The McRib is back now here.
Yeah,
Pumpkinhead just mentioned it in the chat.
But then the only thing about the McRib is finding out that a lot of it is chemicals can also be found in the making of yoga mats, and so
damn, I didn't know yoga mats were so fucking delicious. I'm gonna have to get me some.
It wasn't the same thing with Subway. Subway's bread.
Subway's bread they had.
Well, margarine is what, 1 molecule away from being plastic?
Yeah. Cheese whiz is up there too, I think.
I mean, the thing is, we should be eating yoga mats, right? I mean,
apparently that's what I'm learning.
Spread some margarine.
Slap some barbecue sauce on a yoga mat.
and follow it up with holiday pie.
Yeah, follow it up with I've never heard of holiday pie. We get the standard pies up here. And I love them. I love the apple. We get like apple, strawberry.
Orc, you're missing out. This segment would have been right up your wheelhouse, Orc. You are missing out, man.
You should log in right now.
Another thing has changed. They switched from fried pies to baked pies. That was another mistake. I missed the fried pies. I don't think the baked pies are as good.
Okay.
At
I've never had them fried. Now I want them fried.
I do have a health update about Orc, as a matter of fact. Orc is doing better. He's hoping to return to the show. He's thinking in January. So
okay.
And he could tell us about the most delectable, delicious breakfast treat that McDonald's has ever imagined. The McGriddle.
Well, I don't know. I really like their bacon, egg, and cheese bagels they used to do, and then they got rid of that, which was always a bummer. Those are
the
great.
McGriddle is all you need.
I'm more of a bacon, cheese, chicken guy.
What was it?
That's what you get too.
Bacon, cheese, McChicken.
McChicken.
Oh.
Bacon, cheese, McChicken.
Yeah,
we just get McChicken.
Well, now they have bacon.
I like the bacon and cheese on it. So.
I'm going to have to make McDonald's run.
Raiho, weren't you supposed to send me and Stingray some of those devil cakes?
Yeah, I was gonna do like a trade for some pies or something like that. I gotta get on that. I actually was at the grocery store that week and I was like, I was like eyeing all the sweets, and I was like, I gotta get some of these for the boys.
Man, I've been doing the math. Like, I really want to place an order, but it's like shipping is what's killing me. It's like 3 times the price of the food.
I have to figure out what the shipping would be for me to do it, and then we'll work something out because
do it like media mail or some shit.
You know what I mean? I can buy them for nothing, right? But,
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like in Canada, you guys, or at least up in one of the areas up there, you guys didn't have Target, and so when they came out with those Stranger Things Blu-rays, I had friends in Canada who would ask me, "Could you buy one for me and ship it to me, and I'll pay you back?" It ended up costing them like $75 to get it to them, and of course, then it hits $10 on Black Friday. So,
oh my God!
But I mean, but it was like $20 to buy whatever, and then it was like $60 to ship it to them. It was ridiculous. There's got to be an easier way than that.
That's why I don't have, like, everyone talks about these amazing Blu-rays, and like I'm just sitting back like, fuck, I'm in the wrong country right now because it's just so expensive to do that stuff up here. It's obscene. I don't know. I can't wait till our dollar pairs out a little bit more too. It's like $1.30 to your dollar right now.
Sounds cheaper for you to drive to fucking US.
It would be, I think. And it's not that far. I could cross the border in a couple hours.
But what's up with Rambo finding out that you guys got like the 95-minute cut of Kidnap and we get the 82-minute cut?
I didn't know what he was talking about. I saw this video and I'm like, I'm looking at it on demand and it's 95 minutes. I was like, I meant to message you and go, I don't know what's going on here, but we got the hour 35 or whatever it is, the 95 cut.
So I ordered that. For some reason, when it went in the theaters, it was 95 minutes. Then in the U.S., they cut 14 minutes out.
Wow!
What did they cut?
So I bought it. I'm like, what the fuck? They just made it. They just made it too fast. It's like Victor Footer fast as shit, way too fast. And then people told me, "Oh, in Canada, it's 95 minutes." I'm like, "Fuck!" So that's $20 wasted. So I bought that, and it is, it is the 95-minute cut. So
I guess we have better attention.
Canada. Yeah, I guess we
can watch that extra 15 minutes. And not get upset.
We can't handle that shit. We're too Michael Bay, I guess.
We don't have the holiday pie. But
we have ADD, I guess. I don't know.
I was gonna ask you about that. What's the deal with that? I saw that you'd gotten the longer cut on Blu-ray. So
yeah, it was. Again, that filming I personally enjoyed. It was in the theater back in August. It was a 95-minute version. I bought it at Best Buy, and when I put it in, because the slipcover doesn't have the running time, and I didn't know there's another cut. Doesn't say it on there. I put it in. It was over in 21 minutes, and I see like there's stuff missing, like little things that helped with the flow. And this was like cut to try to be as fast as possible, which in my opinion hurt it. And so I'm like, what the hell? It's like 14 minutes shorter. It's like just snipping little things throughout the entire film. And then I would ask people, and people said, oh, by the way, in Canada, we have the 95-minute version. And I ordered that, got here pretty quickly, in like a week, and yeah, it's the version. So
do we know why they did that?
No, it was never told because, like,
I don't even remember it hitting theater here.
Generally, you don't want a movie to be less than 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Like this is the one I got at Best Buy. It has a blue cover. It has a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. And yeah, I mean, it's an hour and 21 minutes. There's nothing on here that says it's a different cut. And then thankfully, people like a guy named Chris Rogers and other people told me, this is the Canada one. And you can tell it's different because it has a red one. It's just a Blu-ray digital. It has a little French. And this is the 5-minute version. And this has the 14 minutes longer. And there's nothing on here on these. And if you're wondering why I have this, I couldn't take it back because I already opened it. And you try to explain it to them. So
you
it's
robbed
like,
me of 15 minutes.
It's not Best Buy's fault. It's whoever the hell released it. So
well, that's a legit complaint, though.
Yeah,
you
but it's like
to buy the movie you saw in the theater.
It's hard to explain that, and I understand because I've worked in retail, so it's not their fault. And I realized this one in the U.S. is released by Universal, but then the one in Canada is a group called E1 Films. So I guess for some reason they had the longer cut. And I wasn't the only one. I asked people on Facebook, like, yeah, I saw a longer cut in the theater, so they didn't tell anybody. It was never advertised, not even on websites. It's like I was the only person to mention it.
Wow.
That's weird.
So yeah, for those, if you happen to like the film and you want, it's Canada or the UK, but not in the US. No explanation.
That is bizarre. Very bizarre.
Yeah. Well,
What's going on in Stingray Spotlight tonight?
You know, I was gonna take us down another Tony Danza classic, but I couldn't find one.
You mean there's only one?
I couldn't find one. I was like, hey, go watch some Taxi. Let's see. I will. I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary Spielberg. Thought it would be kind of appropriate to talk about tonight. It's a really good doc. You know, considering what we were going to talk about tonight, it would have been more appropriate.
when did that
Bring it
come
up, but yeah, it's a really good doc. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out.
Where did you say you get that again? HBO or something?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on HBO.
Yeah.
When did
It
that
is-
come out?
This year.
Oh,
It is good, but there's a couple things wrong with it, Jay. One is that the last 10 years of his career is conspicuously absent. And then all of his flops are never talked about. So we don't get it. They don't talk about Hook. They barely mention 1941.
Yeah, but I mean, people love Hook though. It's got a huge cult following.
I like
know,
Hook.
but they don't even talk about it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. They didn't talk about it,
And they don't go in order either. So it's like, 1 minute they're talking about Munich, the next minute they're talking about Raiders of the Lost Ark, and you're like, can we get some like order here?
Well, I mean, that was a lot of stuff I didn't know about his childhood and his parents, and his, the stuff that was rough in his life.
Sure,
for being such a prolific director,
Did
probably
they-
the most well-known director.
Did they go into
That's
the
alive.
films he produced?
No. Although they
So
do
no
show
Poltergeist.
they show one shot of Poltergeist, but they use it as a clip of like showing like something from his childhood, because he said he had that
Okay.
giant tree outside his bedroom. So,
Oh.
but yeah, they don't go anywhere near like the controversy stuff.
Yeah, I've heard some stuff. I don't know if it's true or not, but they didn't go into any of that, of course, because it's. I mean, it's it's his documentary. He's not going to go talk about.
Right.
So it's kind of a fluff piece. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than a fluff piece, but it leaves the rough edges out, So, I mean, I want them to make one of these about Martin Scorsese when he was like high on coke, running naked through L.A. Canyon. That documentary is never going to be seen.
And I mean, HBO wouldn't show it.
What's the last movie of his they talk about? If
Uh,
they missed 10 years.
It's
I know they showed him filming some scenes on Bridge of Spies, but I don't think they really talked about.
They don't talk about it. The last one they really talk about, I think, is either Munich or The Terminal. It's one of those. But they
Like Munich.
and then when they talk about Indiana Jones collectively. So they throw in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in that discussion. So they never concentrate on that film. But even Spielberg has apologized for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, saying that it was terrible.
But he's basically blamed it on. He's like, well, I let George do whatever he wants with those.
Yeah, Lucas wanted to go
I
with
think
the
you could have
aliens,
stepped up, bro.
and Spielberg didn't want to go with the alien angle. He didn't want the MacGuffin to be that, but that's what George wanted, so he went ahead and let him do it.
I don't hate that movie as much as I probably should, but
Yeah,
I'm
me
not the
either.
biggest Indiana Jones guy either. So
I don't think it's as bad as people
The
think
first
it
one
has
will
to
always
be.
be my favorite. The rest of them are okay. I mean, I like them, but
I watched the first one more than any.
yeah.
It's been a long time since I've watched like Temple of Doom. I rewatched Crystal Skull actually last Christmas. It was on. They did like an Indiana Jones marathon on TV, and I watched it on TV, so it took like 4 hours. Just kind of shit or whatever, but
The commercial.
like it's not great, but like I wasn't as upset by it as certainly as I was when I saw it in the theater the first time. Like I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. But I'm not I'm not a huge Indiana Jones guy either, right? So I like the movies a lot.
It's Shia. I think Shia really pulls it down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. Yeah, he really does. His whole character, the whole concept, I just didn't like.
The CGI monkeys.
That's bad.
There was a few things. The movie had problems. It's true, but it wasn't completely terrible.
I mean, the fact that they even tried to make Shia LaBeouf come into the movie dressed as Marlon Brando, I was like, no.
And then they wanted to hint that he was going to be the new Indiana Jones. Like, oh, don't.
Yeah, because we're going to have Mutt Jones.
What if Michael Cera showed up dressed as Marlon Brando, Cameron? Would you like that?
No. No.
Did you guys see season 2 of Stranger Things, or have you guys been watching Mindhunters, which I hear great things about?
All of season 2 of Stranger Things.
I haven't seen 2 yet.
I don't know if I liked it as much as season 1, but it was really great.
I heard there's a lot of cussing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the first season, there wasn't.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, actually. I did pick up on that.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of cursing.
Oh, great.
Don't remember any F-bombs, but there was a lot of.
Oh.
Yeah.
The kids are definitely cursing more.
The kid that was in It, when he came back for season 2, he was cursing a lot more than he had been before, because his character in It, that's all he did. So it kind of became a habit.
I had to, I kind of wondered, and maybe I'm wrong, I guess. Like, his character definitely takes a backseat in the second season, whereas in the first season, he's one of the main liners. Like, he's like the third name on screen. He's the first of the kids on screen. And his character in the second season is very muted. I was like, maybe he's doing it. Like, maybe because they kind of focus on it, but maybe they just did it on purpose. But that's kind of what I thought. But I guess if that's not the case, then maybe
he was like the main kid in the first one, right? First season.
Yeah, and he still gets top billing. But I find they focus on other. Well, they kind of do this. They do the thing where they focus on different groups and they switch it up a little bit this time. There's some characters that get together that you wouldn't expect to hang out and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. And they introduced a few extra characters, but his character definitely took a backseat. Which was surprising.
Season 2 was still good. I liked it a lot. I kind of hope, because the Duffer Brothers are already working on season 3, and I kind of, if they do season 3, they need to say this is the final season and wrap it up, because I felt like season 2 was a continuation of the first season. But it felt like a good bookend. The way that it ended, it felt like a good bookend. Of course, they take you back to the upside down just to let you know, the thing is still out there, blah blah blah. But it felt like it was a good way to end it. You know what I mean? It was a good ending.
I definitely, as much as I love all the and that's what gets me about it is the characters. I think in a lot of ways, much as I enjoy all the characters, I think they should end it on 3. And then let them go do something else. The Duffer Brothers got other stories in them. Yeah. Use the same aesthetic, keep the style, just do something else. That's what I would see happen.
What I would hate to see this show go down the road of The Walking Dead, which is just it's never going to end. There's no end game in sight. It's just never going to end. You know what I mean? Until literally, the ratings just are gone entirely, because I hate what they've done with The Walking Dead.
Their ratings are way down.
Yeah, and they continue to go down. And what they did with season 2 of Stranger Things is they established, 11 was number 11, which means that there's 10 others, and who's to say there's not 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on out there too that we can make Stranger Things seasons out of. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, no, do your 3-part thing and end it.
And her sub story in the second season was one of the weakest parts as far as I was concerned.
I kind of when she went and she met the other one, I thought that was a little weak.
That was weak. It was kind of like they could have cut that whole episode.
They could have cut that off. They could have cut that whole thing out. Yeah.
Well, I think unfortunately Netflix is hurting for money, because they kind of overspent on some of their projects, signing people to multi-picture deals and specials not garnering the attention that they had hoped for. That if Stranger Things is paying the bills, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I see it. They're going to do to it, Walking Dead style. I just kind of see that it's always going to be there. I haven't seen season 2 yet. I mean, I liked season 1, but I just haven't been motivated to watch season 2.
It's worth the watch. I was very, just as impressed as I was the first time I watched it. I was happy to see everybody again. But
I wasn't real motivated to watch it either. But I started watching it, and I literally watched Every episode except for the final 2 in one night, and I had to
Oh, wow.
stop because it was like super late. And then the next day, like literally, I got up and I finished the 2 remaining.
You must have enjoyed it, so yeah.
It's binge worthy.
Yeah.
We stretched it out. But.
And I hear Mindhunters is really good too.
I gave up about halfway through, man. It's
Really?
I don't know if I gave up too early, but it's just not going anywhere.
Now, who is this
fall
the one
asleep.
on the? Is this the one on the Unabomber?
No,
Okay, I guess that's the
It's-
next one.
That's
Maybe.
another
it's set like back in the 60s, 70s, something like that, and it's all about
Oh, is it the David Berkowitz Son of Sam?
he's in there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's really about, isn't it about like the concept of serial killers, like actually being like,
Right. It's based on true story to some extent, like the FBI actually starting to figure out the patterns, and and it's these guys that basically pioneered the qualities that make up a serial killer, and it's all the stuff that we take for granted now, really, which is interesting, but it just is too slow for me. It's not getting there fast enough. Maybe I need to jump ahead a few episodes.
So it's kind of like Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
A lot of people, or well, I should say, a couple of people have mentioned the Punisher series in the chat. Have you guys watched the Punisher on Netflix?
I heard it's great.
I think Cole said he was disappointed by it,
Yeah.
but Cole's a tough critic, so
especially when it comes to comic stuff. So
yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm still on Luke Cage, and I can't get through that shit.
Okay.
I'm like halfway through, and I'm just so bored to
So
tears.
you
I
haven't
feel
seen Defenders either?
Yeah, like I really want to get through it, and then I'm like, then I get to look forward to Iron Fist, which I hear is garbage. So I'm like, I feel compelled to watch it all. So I'm like, I got to get through this stuff, which I'm not enjoying, to get into that one, which I'm not going to enjoy. To hopefully enjoy Defenders, and then get to Punisher. So it's like I feel like I love the Daredevil stuff, and I actually liked Jessica Jones, so I feel like I have to do it. But it's been pretty tough.
Are you guys looking forward to the next season of House of Cards?
What? It's gone. They're not playing it.
They're gonna call it something else. They're gonna take him out. They're gonna kill him.
Oh,
No,
did
they-
you-
no,
They're
they-
gonna bring in Robin Wright.
Did you hear that that movie he's in, whatever it's called, they've like removed him and reshot everything with Christopher Plummer?
Plummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how fast Ridley Scott is.
Yeah. I
They should.
that's just
They should have just put the xenomorph over him. That's what I think.
Like even the poster is Kevin Spacey's head. You know what I mean? So they've got to like even like the poster is at theaters now, and it's got Kevin Spacey on it, and Kevin Spacey's not in the movie anymore. So
well,
What movie is this?
what's it called? I don't
Oh,
even know.
God.
it's
I can't
it's like he plays. It's a real kid. Like, it's like a biopic.
It's a biopic. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
biopic.
it's
I don't know who he
it's
played. I don't
driving me
know.
nuts now.
And the worst thing was that Spacey was supposed to be, this was supposed to be one of his like Oscar nominated performances too. So, it'd be funny if Christopher Plummer wins it.
That'd be funny.
That would be great.
Why don't we close out on some wise words from the professor? B-Movie Mike. Mike, are you there?
Mike gave up.
No, I'm still here. I was reorganizing something for a minute. Wise words. Let's see. Turn the sound down on your speaker so you don't create feedback. There's wise words right there. It's the holiday season once again, and we find ourselves hopefully feeling goodwill toward men. Let's try to keep that going into the next year. Understand everybody has a point of view, everybody has an opinion, and that's okay. Paying attention to what we have in common is more important than exploiting what we have, as far as differences. Common ground is something we have to find as a society, as a world, because this isn't just an American thing. If you see all over the world, they're splitting into two sides, this one arguing with that one, constant fighting. That stuff never solves anything. Hopefully we can find a way out of this, and in 100 years, there will still be humans on the planet. But sometimes it doesn't look like it's going to be that way, but we can hope for the best. So just try to do your part by being grateful, being a good person, and just trying to cut people some slack. Understand, hey, they feel just as passionately about their point of view as I do about mine, right? And maybe if we actually try to have a conversation instead of a screaming match, we might actually be able to accomplish something.
Wise words indeed.
Remember that when The Last Jedi comes out and we butt heads.
I will.
That'll be a fun discussion.
Are you still going opening night?
It doesn't look like it. My contact is an employee, but they tell me that they can only get the tickets if they buy them in person on the night of the show.
Wow.
So I'm pretty much that's an employee only type thing. So I'm not going to be able to take advantage of that. But I will be going to see it the next Wednesday, the day before our last show before Christmas. And I think we were going to discuss the film in some detail on that day, and I will be ready.
Okay.
Don't forget, this weekend, The Disaster Artist comes out. I think that looks like a riot.
I didn't see the movie that they're parodying, though, so I'd have to go back and watch The Room, I think it's called, before I could actually watch this one to actually appreciate it.
There's lots of people on YouTube that have done like half-hour reviews of The Room with like tons of clips, so you'd pretty much get the gist of it if you just find one of those.
I've seen some clips. It looks ridiculous.
It's a good time.
So what is it? Just a
It's like an Ed Wood kind of movie of the making of it. Kind of like the way Tim Burton did Ed Wood.
Yeah. James Franco plays the dude.
Tommy
That's
Wiseau.
another negative.
It's
another negative. Although I've seen some clips of him, and I've seen some clips of The Rooms, and he's doing it. From what I've seen, he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. It's getting rave reviews, like rave reviews.
Mm-hmm.
James Franco can do no wrong, right?
He can't.
I really like. I really like.
He can go outside and lay in the street and get a fucking Oscar for it.
I think 127 hours is really good with him.
Yeah, and don't forget, this is a guy that hit on a 16-year-old in New York City and got away with it. So
no one's crying foul about that one anymore.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't he have like 4 degrees from a college or something? It's like he's actually quite smart. I was thinking that he's been through several academic programs successfully.
Are these like honorary degrees?
I was going to say, they just hand those out.
Well, right at the time he was doing Freaks and Geeks, he did a made-for-TV movie about James Dean, and I swear to God, he looks exactly like James Dean in that movie. It was insane.
He was great in Spring Break or Spring Breakers.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Didn't like him in Spider-Man.
No.
The Toby Cryer.
It's a plain.
I don't like anybody's Spider-Man, so to be or not to be Maguire, Grayson Dunst.
Oh goodness. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. This was kind of a fun show. I know we had a lot of people in the chat saying that this was just a really fun show, just hearing us shoot the bull. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. We will get around to doing the Steven Spielberg retrospective at some point. But next week we will be doing Lethal Weapon versus Die Hard. So that will be a lot of fun. Then we'll be following that up with our Silent Night, Deadly Night live commentary, and that will be a lot of fun as well. So we'll see you guys next Thursday live right here on the Sausage Factory YouTube channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for making the live chats as lively as it was. We appreciate it. Thanks to my panel for joining me tonight. I appreciate it, guys. Always a blast. And until next week, you guys have a great one. Take care and peace.
Nighty night.